It's happening. Listen, before this episode starts, we just thought we'd make a little clip to let you know that anyone who doesn't know, we now have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/another one podcast. And there's like a few different tiers on there. And we can go and get where you can sign up to us. And it helps us make this podcast. Helps us make it, helps us pay for the podcast. Helps us make it better. Helps us improve and put more content out. We've got big plans for things we want to do. Haven't we? Since
yes, we have. We've got big plans. We have got big plans.
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No, we have got big plans, and without anyone signing to the Patreon, this will die.
Yeah,
this will go away eventually because if we can't make it work financially, we can't keep doing it, can we?
No, we can't just keep throwing fucking.
No, and we've got Aftermill to buy, and that fucking costs.
We've got kids to pay for. Yeah. Listen, I'll be honest. If I can't provide, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So,
and we already know.
You don't want to make an orphan.
We already know how it's going, don't we? So we needed to be giving us something back.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bleeding here.
My kids are begging. My kids begging.
So sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/another one podcast.
That's it. There's 3 different tiers, loads of different prices.
Pick one.
Help
sign
us.
Up. You won't even notice it going out your bank. It's a couple of quid.
Less than a Tesco meal deal. Or, well, maybe more than a Tesco meal deal.
You'd buy a starving man a meal deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starving. That's what we are. Look at me.
Look at him. Do you think that? Do you think this?
Help!
Another one.
It's happening.
What's going on?
Welcome to another one podcast.
Hello.
Straight in.
Alan's introduced himself.
Have you seen any of these shows? Have you seen?
I have, yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
Have you seen them or have you watched the clips?
No, I've watched a couple.
Oh,
right. Yeah, well done.
Normally everyone's like,
half, you know?
Everyone's like, oh yeah, I've seen it. And then you ask, I watched a couple of clips. Basically.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
the
one of
main
your 10-minute ones who go off after 10 minutes.
Yeah, none of them gimp's good.
Yeah.
Fuck them cunts.
What am I letting myself in for? I don't normally get invited on anything like this, so you know,
Hey, we're the Ajax, mate. We're Ajax of podcasting.
I'm quite excited.
We spot the talent and go, there's a good guest.
I'm quite excited.
I'm not. To be honest,
launched many a career.
I'm not sure if you're Ajax or not. Right, you was looking for a guest. Right.
Yeah.
About 3 hours ago, you're actually the fucking ruffle of podcasts.
Hang on. I won't have that. We owe no one nothing.
Fucking hell, must be a London driver.
No. You see, you're thinking that.
I got picked up though. So
that's how you move mad.
With you.
I live close to him. That was the seller.
No, we move mad. The reason why we leave the late booking is because this is the method. It's the method and the madness.
Just tell the truth. We had Phil Chapman on. Phil Chapman wanted to come on with you. So he was like, oh, I love Sam. He's my mate. I was like, oh, come on with. And he was like, oh, come on when Sam's on. And then he messaged me during the week going, oh, can I do March instead? I've got something on. And I was like, all right, yes, sound. You're the one who wanted to do it with Allen. Yeah. And then everyone else I asked was like, I was just got the regulars, haven't we? The Ellises, the Stauntons, the ones who've always got Monday nights free. So we asked them and then they all gone. So I was like, oh, just put a post out, see who comes back to us. Because the longer we go, the more listeners we're getting, the more higher profile we're getting. People are starting to want to be on it now. So just a little Facebook post.
Now while you can.
Cast the net, see who starts biting, sort of thing.
You put like a little child seat in for Staunton, like when he comes, like a little fucking raise him.
No, you know what he does? Sits on his legs on the chair. Puts his whole legs on the chair, like crossed.
He's
like
flexible.
A child. Yeah.
He's bendy.
He has his legs crossed on that chair like that.
Like a Zen master.
Yeah.
Like a little baby Yoda.
There's an advert on the telly where they float up off it.
Is there?
That advert, it's about being calm, about your customers seeing
you
or some sort of thing,
Well, anyway, introducing the guest, Reverend Allen Finnegan.
Yeah, hello.
You called the Reverend?
Sometimes.
I like giving that Reverend Allen Finnegan.
That's technically me.
Just to explain to people, so you are a Reverend in a Baptist church.
Yeah.
Also a comedian.
Well, yeah.
As seen on Britain's Got Talent, was it?
Briefly
seen on Britain's Got Talent.
Smashed it, didn't you? Got through.
Yeah, I got through. Yeah. It was the getting through that was the problem, I think.
Right.
It was after that. It was after getting through, and it was locked down. There was no audiences in there. And
Did you have to do one of them?
It was awful.
One of the ones with no one in.
When you did
that was the audition, which was shot in January, just before.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But then you get through, and it was literally studio audience, the judges.
Yeah.
And a big, massive wall of faces which I couldn't see.
That didn't get televised, did it?
And that, it was awful.
Did it?
And,
did your one get televised as well?
And it was, and like silence, which is, I mean, I'm used to silence at gigs. You know, let's put it out there. But
does yours turn quickly from a gig into a sermon?
It's from a gig into a normal gig.
Yeah. I didn't see that one when you did it
live. I done the London Palladium one. You've seen probably.
Yeah, I saw the audition.
Was really good.
Saw the audition.
I was terrified, but that went much better. I just didn't want to get buzzed off and look at it.
You know when Britain's Got Talent, right?
Yeah.
Did you all go to them? Did they poach you?
Yeah.
They've asked me every year for about 5 years. Like, you don't want me on. Like, stop asking me because you don't want me.
I mean, I'm a bit of a gimmick actor, aren't I? So they made me wear the dog collar.
Did they?
Yeah. Wear one of them. I'm not that.
Did they? Yeah, they said
they strongly suggested it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna make you look a dickhead if you don't wear it.
To the point where I couldn't say no, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then in the
they had one with them in case you never brought your own.
In the semi, they sent out for shoes for me on the day. They sent someone to Primark, right, to buy me a pair of shoes because they didn't like me. I had these on.
Because they didn't like you in 110s?
Yeah, they didn't like them in there.
Can I either go
advertising?
You'd have been loved in Liverpool with them. Put in the revenue in 110s.
Yeah, shoes, decent. Did you get a decent pair or just?
No, they were just a cheap, nasty pair. Yeah,
Oh.
£9 they cost.
So hang on. So they.
You'd be made. You got a decent pair, though, wouldn't you? Sam going, we get you a decent pair. I might audition myself.
So when they're
semi-final, they give you all decent stuff. They were from Zara in the semi-final shoes, but I just left everything because it went that bad. I just thought that was.
One of them with you. You have a shit gig, you just get off.
Throw your boots in the changing room.
Not even.
When they're saying they're strongly suggesting you wear this and that, but you don't get any money for doing it. So why didn't you just go? Nah. So why didn't you just go? I'm not. Nah, then I won't do it. Or you wanted to do it, or you.
I guess I sort of just did what they said. They were saying it'll make great telly.
You trust them to know what to do.
My problem with it was...
absolutely not. That's the thing I wouldn't... I don't trust them.
That's probably a good idea.
To be fair, though, you don't trust me to know what we're doing on this.
Yeah, I don't trust anyone. I've pulled the fucking stag do because I've got anxiety about everything.
It's probably a good idea not to trust them, but...
Oh, the rats.
They say, it'll make good telly kind of thing, you know. And in my head, I didn't get that in my head, that it was television, not a gig.
Right.
That makes sense to you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I was like, it's a gig, but it wasn't a gig. It was television.
Yeah.
I think if I had to do it again now, even to an empty room, I think I'd do better than I did. I'm not saying I'd do.
Yeah.
Well, experience,
because I know what it is now, but I've done it and it's too late.
Did they not?
So how do you feel about it? Do you wish you didn't do it?
No, I'm glad I did it.
Oh yeah.
Because I know there's a bit of a debate in the comedian thing about whether you should do it or not. And
I think if you're the right act, 100%
I think my act possibly is more the right act. Yeah. I'm never going to be a club comedian, am I? Let's be honest.
Yeah, there's an act called Roger Swift.
He's always getting poked by him.
He is. But I think he should do it.
He'd do it.
All he has to do is not do the dirty stuff. Do all his clean stuff, and he's absolutely
smashing. He won't let you do any of they censor everything before you start.
But they could easily make him look a cunt.
Yeah.
They could make all of us look a cunt.
That's the point.
But with Rod...
Didn't want that to happen. And then buzzers. The person before me got 4 crosses. Right?
And the audition.
Was he a stand-up?
Yeah.
No, it was
I know a stand-up who did it.
Children's entertainer.
Mike Newell done it, got through the same year.
Yeah, but I know a guy that...
And then when it was no audience, he bottled it, didn't he? Or he went, nah, not for me.
Oh, he said, I'm not doing it.
Not without the audience, yeah.
That's fair enough. Because I know a guy that did it to a live audience and they didn't, I don't think they put him on TV, but they did one like minute ones where they just chop it up and basically go, shite, the guy dying. And it's just like, ugh.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and that's, you could smash it and then make it look.
The thing was, it was awful. I was awful. They changed all my sets and everything and I didn't proper know it and it was terrible. Bastards. And they stuck me in a pulpit miles up out the way, you know, and it was all wrong. And I was saying, can I get out of this pulpit? And they were like, no, sorry, Sam. We haven't introduced Sam.
It's all right, don't worry, we know.
I was like, I need to get out of here because this is terrible. You know what I mean? This is just wrong for comedy. And they were like, no, it'll be dead funny. And I was like, oh. And then they told me to write jokes about something, and then they didn't get it. So it was just like everything was wrong. And it's just
so like, where's your God now?
that kind of thing, you know. So it was just like, But overall, I'm glad I did it. It was just, it was just a tough year to do it, I think. But Steve Earle smashed it, so you know what I mean.
Like you say, I think Deliso was a club headliner for 10 years.
Yeah,
he was ready to tour off the back of that fame. If you're just a guy who's just doing 20. Like me, if I did it, I'm not ready to capitalize on this
that sort
now.
of things, like, you need to be in that position where
Ready to
get
go.
on tour now.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't. So
yeah,
you know what I mean?
but you're because you sort of got like the faith and all. It's like whether they'd even send you on tour or whether it'd just be a case of you just go and do shows and.
I forget the lad's name. The other lad, he was all right out of it. But he was because you meet all sorts of lawyers and stuff. You know what I mean? You have to sign all sorts of mad contracts and that. I had the same agent as Brian May out of Queen at one point.
Jesus,
smashing life. Look at me now.
Did you ever meet that agent, or was it just the fucking paper
he was
boy
there,
of the
but
agent that
never
he's
spoke
with?
to me. You know what I mean? Didn't know who I was. But
do they make you sign with an agent when you get there? Do they?
Only for while you're on the show, and if they decide to take you on afterwards, you don't get any decision in it. They can take you on for whatever period they want. But this other lad's had his own YouTube channel and that, and they own your worldwide rights while you're on the show.
Yeah.
And he was like moaning about it. He was like saying, "Well, that's not fair because I did all this without you, you know."
Yeah.
And they were saying, and in the end, the solicitor said to him, he said, "Listen, mate," he said, "this has been going for nearly 15 years now, and we've never signed a comedian, so don't worry about it."
Right.
They don't want comedians on their books because it's basically Sony. And
what are they going to do with comedians? Like, do not
a lad that went on there. He was an impressionist. He got through to the final.
Danny
off the Wirral.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he and Les Gibson, and he got through to the final. Possibly should have won it, but he tried some new impressions, and so they signed him up, so to speak, for a year.
Yeah,
signed him up and do the little mad tours and all that sort of stuff. So he might have been getting like. As he might have been getting 500-600 quid going out or something like that to get to the thing. Then he was doing gigs for like say 5-6 grand, but only 4 in that year.
Yeah.
And he even says I'd have earned more just being on the regular circuit than I would have been just for the.
In fairness, I wouldn't say I was getting that.
Yeah.
My £50 middle. I'd have to do a lot of them.
Yeah, we get them comedy headline spots with the BGT sticker, innit, bro? Yeah. Sam Harland, anyway, ladies and gents, 10 minutes in. Better late than never.
Better late than it's night. Good to be back again. I thought you might put a bit of a spread on us, something. You know, a few nibbles.
No, mate, the riders are getting worse now.
Yeah, mate.
You're going to have to bring us something. You have to bring us a gift.
I debated it, you know. I don't mean crisps. I mean, obviously, crisps or something. It's going to mess with us. Just like some crab sticks or something, or a bit of Battenberg.
Hummus.
Battenberg on.
Yeah.
Keep it meta.
You know I mean?
Keep
just
it
know that we're wanted and loved. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just adding a bit of class to things.
Well, we're always open for suggestions, so we'll take that on board.
Gifts. We'll have gifts off anyone.
Yeah,
we'll have to make the sort of ride. We thought beers and water was all right.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't had a drink for 22 years, have I?
I know, I had to realise you're the worst. We literally we got beers for everyone, and then you come and say, "Oh, well, fucking they're pointless."
Yeah, for the recovering alcoholic.
We
didn't even get any alcohol-free ones.
Oh no, God, I wouldn't want the taste out the cake. Oh no, wow, would you drink for the taste?
I'm like that.
Didn't drink.
No one drinks lager because it tastes nice. You drink it because you've had it ingrained in you since you were 16. Drink that and don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
Oh no chance.
And I fucking love it for it as well. And I'm glad they can ingrain that in me as well.
Well, that's what people say to you sometimes. They say, so when you was drinking, Sam, you was on the rampage. He said, did you ever sort of try, if you was with a girl and she was on your case to stop drinking, would you ever try and mask the smell? Like get some mints or like brush your teeth or something like that? And, various things. I said, well, no, it's wasted time when you shit your pants, innit? You know what I mean? No,
your breath smells great, but your ass smells terrible.
Good enough for you. Yeah, so 20 odd years now it's been. On wagon. But I was going to say, did you do the so you pretty much smashed it, didn't you, when he was on the telly? Do you know what I mean? You did really well.
The first one.
I watched the first one.
The semi-final wasn't that good. That's what I was getting to before. The semi-final, it was awful. It was awful. It was probably one of my worst.
Do people
gigs.
remember the semi-final or not?
I think Twitter does.
Right.
Yeah, and they said to me, they literally said to me, "Don't worry, we'll make it look good."
Did they?
I had to come down to get.
And did it look better than what it was?
By the judges. Yeah, they made it look okay. It was awful.
Yeah.
And the judges like giving me some like not so great comments, you know.
That happens at Live at the Apollo as well. You know, before you go on Live at the Apollo, they say to the comedians, "Don't look like you're dying.
Yeah. I've heard
just smile the whole way through because you've smashed this gig on telly." My
biggest laugh out the judges was when I come down and they went, someone said something to me and I went, "You thought that was bad? You should have seen rehearsals." They all laughed. That was the only laugh I got.
Yeah, right, okay. They're literally sitting there on the phone and go, right, we'll do some reaction shots now, Simon. And he's like,
he wasn't there, was he? He broke his back. So.
Oh, I did, yeah.
All right, so who did you have?
Alicia, David, and Amanda.
Actually, what was Williams like with you?
He was all right.
He's normally quite good to the comedians.
He said afterwards, because I was on the second semi-final with no audience.
Yeah.
And Steve Royal had been on the night before and smashed it.
Right.
But he's a different type of actor.
You can all smash it when you can start juggling, like, the jokes aren't going well.
He literally...
all I've got's words.
You little bitch.
Dave Williams.
He's a nice fella,
you
but
dart playing, looking little bit.
He's a nice fella, but all I'm saying is all I've got's words. When words aren't working, I'm fucked. Like, I can't go
yeah.
Can't be like, he's a stool, I'll juggle it and watch this.
Fucking hell, shots fired from the hood.
I know, yeah.
David Williams literally said to me, we've realised tonight how tough it is for people who just stand there and tell jokes, stories or whatever, because it's just, there's nothing for you to feed off. And I was just like, cheers. I'll just go.
You're a shining example of why you should never bother doing this stand-up comedy.
And I also...
Well done, Allan. You're a martyr.
They also talked me into doing the funeral stuff. In the middle of lockdown, when people can't go to their own parents' funerals. That's why Twitter loves me.
And then they've already got the headlines written for you going... Disgusting comedian makes jokes about funerals during COVID.
That was the Daily Star.
Was it?
Was it?
Oh, yeah, I got panned. Yeah.
Fuck off, really?
Got panned everywhere, yeah.
The papers...
I had more complaints than Amanda Holden gets for her dresses, and she gets them notoriously.
Well,
she looks for them, doesn't she?
I got 300 odd complaints in Ofcom. I was the second highest complaint.
Nabil got a few.
The other thing was the Black Lives Matter dance type
right
thing.
Right.
No, but Nabil Abdul
So was you on racism?
He got a few a bit of heat off his stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? He got I can't remember what.
I didn't miss that. I missed that.
There's you and racism. That's the two worst things on telly.
Yeah. You got more complaints than the Ku Klux Klan. Unbelievable.
That's bad, isn't it?
Stick that on your next poster.
Yeah, you can do a little do a Frankie Allen. Call yourself Britain's most dangerous comedian.
Oh, in fairness,
you in a white cloak, doing your fucking.
Didn't go well. So yeah, but overall I'm glad I did it. Yeah.
Did anyone?
Experience.
So, you know, like to say the star and a pan, does anyone actually reach out to ask you and like to ask you any questions or anything like that, just so you can say, listen, they told me to do that, you know what I mean? Like, did anyone even bother interviewing you to go?
No, they interviewed me after the first one on like Lorraine and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. But the second one, no. You get a counsellor coming down to make sure you're not going to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
A couple of people on reality shows have done themselves in. So they have someone come. You know,
what's the nose?
Literally, you know that
that's
you're in
trouble
when the counsellor walks into your little dressing room. You know, you're thinking.
So you know you had a bad gig. The counsellor's waiting for you.
It must be mad though when you're in the, you're in the church or something like that. You're doing the service, doing a funeral. You're in the church and all that sort of stuff.
I can't even do proper funerals now because everyone hates me for that.
Well, I remember. Can you imagine?
Like, what things you're writing stuff down.
He's in the church or something like that, just doing the stuff, burying like old Molly or something like that. Next minute, someone's phone goes off. Well, we know it's not for.
That's Rihanna, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, well, it's a bit cold in here today. Don't worry, everybody will soon warm up.
Yeah, so.
Can you really not do funerals anymore?
No, I still do and don't do many, but I get people commenting to me, it's like, don't forget the name.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be doing anything like that. I just because I know what they'd do to me.
Yeah.
And even if they didn't do it to me, in my head, they're doing it.
They're doing it. Yeah. And you're going to show them.
Yeah. They'd have, the money would have to be right, and I know I'm not getting shit off them.
You don't get nothing.
No. They're fucking bastards. But then, as we were talking before we started, you were at my, like... I'll tell you what gig it was. I'll tell you what fucking date it was because I think I've got autism, haven't I?
Back when Simon was, he's got a spreadsheet, hasn't he?
Has he?
Every gig he's ever done.
We drove to some place where we couldn't find the end.
Darwin for J-Dog Musa.
Oh, was it him? Yeah.
Green, red and amber.
Me, you, and Robin Thompson.
Yeah. I remember it well. I remember you just being on stage and the fella getting up, standing next to you.
There was you on.
Trying to get you off.
There was Robin Thompson. There was J-Dog. There was John Porter.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember who else there was.
Do you remember all these?
Just because it was that fucking horrifying, mate. That's why.
Because the gig was that bad.
I honestly seen you and thought, this lad'll be alright, because he just doesn't care. He's not bothered one bit that he's proper just
He's dying on his ass and he doesn't care.
Well, what can you do?
He won't get
All I knew at the time was that you meant to do your time. And then everyone was like, nah, not like that.
I still reckon you did more than your time.
I reckon I did 13. I'll be honest,
You
I got
only
13.
had to do 5.
10. It was at Hoddleston Club in Darwin.
It was like a doorway and it went a stairway upstairs.
16th of August, 2014.
I can't believe you still got
Was
that.
it then?
That Jameis who said, what the world's a comedy.
And then I've got the comment about that gig.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Died, full stop. Heckled, full stop. Audience and acts consoled me.
You know? It reads more depressing than the Diary of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a spreadsheet of everything he's ever done.
Look, the only gig that went well from fucking July 2014 to 16th of November 2015 was a Spiky Mike Gong show.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was the only time I had a good gig.
What was your comment for that one? For your good...
Went okay, won. Final in March. Listenable. It's a good game, isn't it, this?
Yeah.
You just pick a date, any date, and I'll tell you.
Green, red or amber, I guess.
Yeah. No, that was it. That was a shot. It was a tough gig, that, for me, that. But, you know, it's what makes you, innit?
Honestly, I think you seem to be, like, all right with it. Where I'm the opposite.
I was all right with it.
I know that.
I was
I'm
done.
saying it as a good thing.
I can't bear it.
I'd be like, I remember doing a gig in Hull, the Comedy Lounge is it called, which is the old Quasar place.
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, I know. I did a gig there, and the fella's massive in, he runs the place.
Paul.
Is that his name, Paul? Yeah. And
Hazel,
I went on
Paul
after.
Hazel. Shout out Paul Hazel.
I went on after. Redditor comedian, beard. I'm terrible with names.
Chris Brooker.
No.
Andy Watson.
Ben Schofield.
Oh, sorry, forget the
Bobby Chockhouse.
You're throwing proper names.
Bobby
Chockhouse. No idea.
Well, I don't know, you said
Anyway,
Redhead with a beard.
There's not many of them.
I knew he was
We just
good.
named 3 like that, though.
And he
Young
died.
old.
Right. And they were all there to see Gary Merkel, is it? Merkel?
Meikle.
Yeah, Gary Meikle.
They were all there to see him.
'Cause there's one
he done
viral
the
video
eyebrows
that
thing. Right. And I went on middle and it was just dire. It was dire. And I come off and that Paul went to me, that was tough, lads, wasn't it? I went, yeah. I said, I'm not going to say it's normally better than that because you won't believe me anyway. I said, He went, no, what I'll do though, he said, I know the lad before you, I've known him for a while and he normally goes down well and he died a little bit. He said, so I'll put it down to the crowd with you. He said, and I'll give you another gig sometime. Let you try again. I was thinking,
again.
I'm never trying this.
I'm never
again.
coming here.
Have you not been back? You went that once, that was
I'm
it?
driving home. I had to put diesel in my car. I picked the nozzle up, put it in my car, and it went, feeling down. Ring the Samaritan.
Yeah.
On the petrol pump. I was thinking of crashing into every bridge on the way home.
Really? Was that?
Oh, yeah. I'm terrible if it goes bad. Yeah.
That ties, you know, that ties into a right nice story. That
Doesn't
ties
happen.
into the Comedy Lounge, ties into a real good story, actually. This is one of the best nicknames I've ever heard in my life. Listen to this, is beautiful. Was at the Comedy Lounge just before Christmas, and he'll go unnamed, but there was a Jewish act from London on, and he was opening. Right. So he was staying over and he was opening. And that was it. Anyway, he went on the gig, plenty of people in the gig.
He's trying to work it out, I'll tell you.
Happy days. And does the gig, smashing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great. Gets weighed in straight away, gets his envelope.
I think I know.
And he's sat at the back. And
my namesake.
And he's looking at he's looking at the doorman's just sort of looking at him because he's acting a bit shifty. He's being odd. You wouldn't expect an actor to act shifty. He's got a rucksack on him.
Yeah.
He's sat right at the back of the corner. And about anyway, so he keeps going. They've got like a tray for, keep all the sauces: the mayonnaise, brown sauce, red sauce, big tray, and they're all full.
Kind of gigs
So
you want to be doing, innit?
Oh yeah, too right.
When they got sachets on the fucking
honest to God, beautiful thing. And he goes up and he's going. And he's had a few scoops. The act, just being paid. Happy days, you're doing well. See you again soon. Anyway, he's fucking launching all these sauces into his rucksack. Yeah, sauce. The doorman's looking at him thinking, what's going on? Anyway, he called us Paul. He says, Paul, this is a bit awkward, this, like, but I think that first act, I think he just wipes out your sauce tray. When you walk, do you know what I mean? Anyway, he goes marching over. And he goes, what are you doing? He said, what do you mean, what am I doing? He says, we've just seen you you just wiped out the condiments. He went, no, he said, open your bag. He went, oh, don't be like that. He said, open your bag. Anyway, he pulls out
hindsight.
He pulls out one mayonnaise. We'll give him one. He went, come on, mate, the rest of them. So anyway, he gets an handful. There's still about half a bag full and all that sort of stuff. He said, why would you do that? He says, it's ridiculous. And
it's bad stereotyping this, isn't it? But go on.
No, but it's not because but it ties into the nickname really. So we do it and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I was talking to Stevie Porter and I was telling Stevie Porter what had gone on, and he goes, "Oh, I've got a nickname for him already." I went, "What?" He said, "Sachet Baron Cohen." Oh yeah, that's clever. That in bull. But how embarrassing though, nicking sausage. You know
what did he say? Why?
What did he say?
He just didn't. Just sorry. Oh,
just a kleptomania. Is that what that is?
It's got to be something like that at that point. Nicking so can't even sell them, can you?
No, just
maybe he just fancied some sauce and
never wanted to buy sauce again.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Paul's saying to him, "Listen, if you'd have asked for him, I'd give him." But it's actually that's even worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I have all of them?
Can I have some of your sauce, please?
Yeah.
How much? All of it.
Crisps.
Yeah, crackers.
What was you doing over Christmas in Hull when you were dressed as an elf?
What they did was that was great. That he was doing. He said he wanted to put on. He wanted to like his Santa's grotto thing.
Right.
So it was like, see how we get on. So they come in, have something to eat. Not like they push the boat out. It won't just like you go to like one of these shopping precincts. 30 snarlers. The kids goes in, but you can't sit on the knee anymore, can you? That's what
Right.
That's gone now. Them days are gone.
The good old days.
The good old days. The good old days. Sat on some drunken Santa's knee with a semi on. You can't do that. And so it says they'll come in, they have something to eat, sit down. Naughty Elf comes out, aka the Samster. And but I thought to myself,
the role you were born to play.
Well, what I thought to myself, you don't play this to the kids, you play it to the adults. That's it. It's the adults reading the reviews. They're the ones who pay, tell the mates and this, that, and the other. So it was just like sort of a mini tone it down, Van Lan, and all that. Then they started pecking up then. I thought Santa can take
just flirting with the idea of being a nonce.
just flirting, not going full Savile. On the periphery.
I could touch you if I wanted if your mum wasn't here.
Some savvy innuendos.
Oh, it was smashing. It was great. It was really good. Really good. And they started coming in and was getting reviews and this, that, and the other. And I think the thing with that is you've got to entertain the kids are just happy there, colouring book, bit of Santa music on and all that. But if you get the mums and dads on board, then it was really good. That
get the mum and dad on board, and do what you want to the kid. Fucking moth in the studio now.
Yeah, so that was it was good.
Must have opened your wallet.
Fuck yeah, now.
It's annoying that though, isn't it?
What the moth?
Well, funny enough, when I was driving down here, it reminded me of something.
Let him ruin the podcast. We'll all sit here and look for the moth.
I was driving down the 53 and it reminded me of something.
Be the Iceman and go and fucking kill it, lad. Go on.
20 years ago, when I just started out. Actually, I'd not even started gigs then. That was probably 15 years ago. I had this whole shape of van.
Yeah.
Thought, get a van and be able to earn some money. Do you know that one? But everyone's on your case out, your family, friends. It ends up being a can of worms. It was a big stinking Sherpa van. I was moving my mate from Birkenhead to Chester. So I ain't seen him for a while actually. Big Mike is called. Not that it's important. So anyway, so obviously it's never
shout out Big Mike.
Never straightforward, is it? Do you know what I mean? Never straightforward. So I got all the stuff. We're moving down there, unstack it. It's like this little council house, and there's crap everywhere. Whoever been there left it. So you give it that one. He goes, "Oh, if I give you another 20 quid, will you? Can you like rotate this stuff?" Do you know what I mean? It's like a couch with 2 chairs in the back.
Yeah.
It's like there's an old barbecue, kids stuff, coffee table, little mini fridge. Do you know what I mean? I ended up, oh God, do I have to? He said, yeah, oh mate, just moved house and all that. And I said, yeah, well, all right then, whatever. So I thought, Christ. Anyway, so I'm going back with a full van. And I was buying this van for my mate for 500 quid. And I heard him about 100. And I remember it was a while ago because I had this little crappy Motorola phone, this little crap Motorola. So I'm driving the van and all that sort of stuff, but you can't see in the back of a van. Is it a long axle thing? Do you know you can't actually see what's in it, but it's
long
there.
Wheelbase.
Long wheelbase. And so I'm going past my mate's house. Funny enough, I'm going past my mate's house. My phone started ringing, and it's my mate. I've got back to Birkenhead now. I've gone from Chester with a full.
Yeah.
Got back to Birkenhead. And my phone starts ringing, and I thought, wow, that's weird. I'm just going past his house and he's ringing. Oh my God, it's a God incident. It's whatever and all that. So I said, right, Col, how are you doing? Your van doors are open. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've just gone on 53. Full van, fridge, settee and all that. Open the van, empty. I've emptied the van on the M53. And the fear, then the relief afterwards thinking you don't have to queue up at the tip.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, someone could die then, couldn't they?
Honest to God.
Yeah,
Because if somebody hit that
And this
fridge,
fridge hit me.
It had dodgy doors. You had to park on a hill to get it going, and the doors just won't shut properly. But I'd emptied the lot of the van had come out down the 50.
and there's another question for Keo, isn't it? If somebody hits that fridge and dies because you didn't lock your van doors, what are you getting done for?
I mean, at the time, I don't think I had any taxi insurance anyway. You know, it was the old days.
What aren't you getting done for?
Yeah, just you're going to get
The
flights.
fridge is the least of the problems. Yeah,
Fucking negligence.
it'll be negligence, won't it? It'll be like gross negligence.
You get time, wouldn't you?
I don't know. You get time.
Oh, we did
Back
worse
in the
than
day,
that.
probably.
We
You
did.
might now.
Yeah, but we did worse than that on this estate. We used to live on this estate. Have I told you this story about the snow?
No, go on.
We used to live on this estate in all right, proper poggy estate, proper. Do you know what I mean? We were feral, and the bus used to come. Is the last bit the bus can come round, and where the road was, there was sort of shops there, but there was like a hill, like a man-made hill going all the way around. So it was great when it snowed, go down and all this sort of stuff. So what we do is, when the bus was coming about 10 o'clock on the night, I'm talking about 80 lads and lasses on this hill. Now also there was 70s, hungry and cold. So what we do is we used to build a barricade. We used to build a barricade with snow in the road, all get behind the hill. The bus would come, the bus would see the barricade, slow down, and we'd absolutely 80 people, ice ball,
Just pelting the bus.
smash, it was absolute carnage.
In the
And was doing in the snow. Was down there for a bit because you don't really sort of land round on the Wirral.
Yeah.
I've been around here say 20 odd years. It's sort of settled once. It was there every day and gone. But in all big thick snow for about 2 weeks. So was doing this ding 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 ding. And after about the fourth time, he got on it, the bus driver, and just he'd go straight through the barricade, won't slow down. So you'd only get about 30 snowballs off. Do you know what I mean? So what we decided was, which ties in, I can't believe it. I mean, just this is insanity, really. I'm not proud of this, but this is what we did. We got a fridge. We actually got a fridge, a big fridge as well. The fridge.
Where'd you find it? The 53.
You just find them in people that just had them in the gardens. Do you know what I mean? And we put this
Outside number 53.
honest to God, we put this fridge bang in the middle of the road, and it took up nearly half of the thing. Then packed it with snow. The bus driver was coming, put his foot down, hit this fridge, took the front of the bus off. And do you know, right? He took the front of the bus off, and we still ice-balled him afterwards as well. Honest to God.
It is mad, like. I don't know why you even think it's fucking funny, but we used to. There's a road by ours.
time that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
No, but there's a road by ours.
It would have been the
I think
best
I
thing
told this when
ever.
James Allen was on. There's a road by ours at the tight corner, and we used to just we used to get hoses and just soak it till it had like 3 inches of ice. And then every car who tried to take that corner just smashed into a wall or smashed into the curb. And every time we was like, laughing like you dickhead. Look at hundreds of quid's worth of damage and we're laughing your head off. Fucking fella's probably having a breakdown. It looks like it's a well-to-do area.
Can't do that. Health and safety gone mad now, isn't it?
You can't do nothing anymore,
Can't
can
have
you?
any fun. No.
Can't do
Right.
knack all anymore. But like I say, you just had to think of something to do. There's not else to do.
Yeah,
was there?
pass the time.
There's not else to
Just
do.
bother people.
Yeah. Honest to God. I'll tell you, here's a story for you. We were bad on the fruit machines, though. Well, everyone was back then. Do you know what I mean? Always put in the fruit machines and all that.
They started dying out when I started going, like, as I started going, it started coming in boxes then. There was a bit of a challenge to it, all the quizzes and all that.
Yeah.
And then when they come out, because there was all the screws on them then, putting black 20s in, pull your 20 back out and got loads of free credits, then you dropped it and all that. And then eventually just started taking out the pubs, I think, because they're more trouble than they were.
Well, that was it, yeah. We was just bad. It was just really bad. We always wanted to go on the fruit. But even if you had enough money, it was never enough. It was a Saturday night in Hull. I was about 18. Our kid had been 16. Was out on the night. Was going clubbing on the night. And then was in this, it was like this cafe in Hull, like on an industrial estate. Do you know what I mean? Just a dodgy, dusty, mucky industrial estate and this cafe. Anyway, putting our money in the back, losing. The bloke says, "Come on now, lads, come on, we're shutting. Oh, mate, we haven't run our money back and all this." He went, "Oh God, piss off," and all that. "Oh, shoot, you fucking prick." Next thing, I was walking out, kicks our kid up the arse. Do you know what I mean? We boot his windows with the grate on and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, so we forget, fucking prick, no bed and all this stuff. So anyway, so that night we're out and we're drinking and drinking and drinking. We can't get him out of his head. This bloke in the cafe, the owner of the cafe, who's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
We think
except clothes.
Yeah, except for clothes.
Had the audacity to want to go home to his family.
Yeah. We want to get our
I'll choose your opening hours, you.
We want to get our £1.20 back. You know what I mean? And all that. So we're drinking. It was only about half a mile away from the nightclub. So we're drinking, like prick. So what we decided for, we're going to break in. We're going to break in and get our money back. That's what we're going to do. Piss as well. Idiots. Right? So anyway, so we went to the cafe. There's grates all over the thing and all that, all over the windows. But there's like a derelict shop or a derelict room or flat above the thing. So there's nothing there. It's really one of them sort of derelict industrial type things. So I thought, what we're going to do? So I went up the back. We thought we're going to have to rip the tiles off the roof. We're going to have to rip the tiles off the roof and try and go in and get onto that thing, then get into the thing. So all right, anyway, we're ripping these. Oh, it's taking forever. We're knocking it's all rotten and all that anyway. We're knocking it through. Fucking chinos were filthy. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hush puppies ruined. Absolutely. But we eventually got an hole in it. Do you know what I mean? This is about 2:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. Just been to a club. Fucking look like two chimney sweeps. So anyway, we managed to get this all in.
Not even a sniff of pulling. Not even a sniff of a shag. I'm going back for that fucking
the mind was elsewhere. They weren't on about pulling.
Too angry. And it took forever. It took about an hour just so we eventually. So what we got? We're on this roof at 3 o'clock, pissed. It was sobering up. Yeah. You know what I mean, putting a shift in. And there's this hole in the roof, so we're looking at this hole, and all you can see is darkness.
Right, don't know what you're jumping on.
Just a drop. Yeah. We don't know. There could be anything. There could be spikes sticking up, snakes, a bear in there out. You don't know. And there's nothing to do it with. Like your phone now, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Right.
So I think, shit, you go first. No, you go first. Anyway, ended up paying paper, scissors, stone. So we're like that. Is it on free, or is it 1, 2, 3? Anyway, our kid pulls out claw. You know that was
dynamite.
Yeah, just like say, no, claw, you're going in. Said, oh, what's that? I said, no, you'll be all right. So anyway, so he gets to the hole, weighs his way down. I'm sort of helping him. He's just hanging. You just go drop after. He said, no, just count to 3. He said, 1, 2, 3. And after what?
Is it on today?
1, 2, 3, bang. And he goes, then you just hear a forward. What's it like? Does it hurt? He went, no, it don't hurt at all. He said, you're literally touching the floor when you're hanging. I went, honest. He went, yeah, honest, this is where mum's life. I said, okay, sounds a pound. So anyway, so I get him into position, all that sort of stuff. So I'm hanging, pissed, covered in crap. I drop, oh my God, it seems to be dropping like a lifetime. I hit the floor, I went, fucking hell. And our kid goes, it fucking kills, doesn't it? Fucking hell. Fucking knocked the wind out of me, everything. But that's only part of the problem. So half the problem is you're stuck in this place.
Yeah, 4 broken ankles between the pair of you now.
We just
for £1.20.
Yeah. We haven't thought this through. About now.
No, really?
No, we haven't. We haven't thought this through.
Fancy that, 2 fucking smackheads at 18 haven't thought this through.
I had just sonatas on napkins, just figuring it all out.
For you. But there's like
I mean, they're probably going to be opening up in about 4 hours' time anyway, aren't they?
That was the thing. You're up against the time. So our kid was a bit drunker than me. And they've put like this, there's a stairway there, and they've put like a thin border thing to get into the shop.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we booted that in. The next time we were in the shop. So there's like 2 fruit machines. The one what owes us money with our money in it, right? And there's another one, and there's a cigarette machine. So we thought we're here now.
We may as well
grab the lot. We haven't come tooled up. Honest to God, we're trying to open a cigarette machine with a fork. Do you know what I mean?
A plastic one.
Fucking, he's just like that. He's just bending. It's like looking like a ketted up your regalia.
Did you rob all the sachets of sauce as well?
All that. I think, what the fucking hell's going on? So we eventually found some. So popping all this sort of think, oh yeah, we're laughing here, the cigs and everything. Don't try this at home, and I'm not defending it. It's terrible behaviour. So we're doing this and that and the other. So I'm doing that and trying to get in money and all this sort of stuff. The next thing, I said to him, shh, like that. You know what?
Snakes.
And no, it sounded like snakes. It sounded like a policeman's radio. No crap.
Right.
It sounded like a policeman's radio. Like that, right? Turn round. Our kid's doing a fry up. Our kid's doing a fucking fry up. Our kid's doing a fry up. He's got.
Is he dead now or in jail or something?
He's got sausages and bacon in a pan.
In fairness, you were there.
I said, Swim, what are you doing? You dickhead? I said, we're fucking burgling the place. We're burgling the place. I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, bacon and egg. Bacon and egg, do you want some?
Do you want some?
Well, frozen egg on. You know what I mean? So next thing we just sat there in this cafe, demolished the place, cigarettes, having a full English. What, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Did you get away in the end?
No, yeah, we just because it was like a year lock thing, so we just let ourselves out the door. But the dodgy bit that is sort of the dodgy bit. But the dodgy bit isn't that. It's 2 lads just packed with stuff walking through an industrial.
Did you get away with this?
I can't remember if we got caught or we got away. We got caught.
How can you not remember what the end of this story was?
Because when you've been arrested that many times,
This is why he stopped drinking, because he couldn't remember.
It's not. We didn't get caught on that night, but you don't
know if a couple of days later someone turns up on that. Yeah.
Or you'll get targeted, or you might got it taken into consideration.
I get with another thing.
We was up to all sorts. We was up to all sorts of stuff then.
Blame for everything.
Yeah, honestly, it was. He pushed away. I remember one time we was. It was a Sunday, but now it was now open on.
Did you ever go back to cafe? Or you don't
no, not
you don't remember you don't remember your arrest. You're not going to remember you went back to cafe.
No, it'll be long gone then. The cafe, but sometimes you got caught, sometimes you didn't. But the thing was sort of you had to get caught a lot of times before they do anything. You end up getting community service or attendance. It's
like that again now. I was telling told a joke. I done a gig a couple of months ago. I just ended up fucking just talking. I was talking about being a scumbag. It's like I was saying, underneath it all, no matter how well I do in life, I'm just going to be a scumbag. I said, it's just ingrained in me. Like selling IPTV for no reason, just because I've always got to have a screw. No matter what happens in life, I've always got to have a screw. And then I was like, it's just where I'm from. And then I was telling me my mate works in Lidl. I don't know why I told this story. It was like, my mate told me, so he catches a smackhead robbing, or thingy robbing, like gets what have you got in? Takes them back to the office. He calls the police. They're going to be like 3 to 4 hours. He said I was there once, like, kind of police do, like, oh yeah, I'll be there 2-3 hours, something like that. He's like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I don't know, it's up to you. And he's like, and the smacker just goes, hey, tell him I'm hitting you. And he went, he's hitting me, And they're like, all right, we'll be there in 15 minutes. And the smackhead was like, I just want to get this over and done with, mate. Just part of my life, this. Yeah. Let's get it gone. I've got fucking Aldi to do in a minute.
Yeah, well, that was what it was like. Just thinking, let's just go into like shops. Like when they had the old doors, the old like thingy. Sometimes you'd have a shop and it'd have like 2 doors, but it was the old letterboxes on them. So there'd be a door there what they don't use, and they use the proper door here. They'd have all the rails and stuff and all the gear and all that. So when we used to go into the shop about 5:25, then we'd be in the other bit. The woman or the bloke would be cashing up here. Then they'd be like, then we'd get the rack of clothes and we'd push it at the back. Near the letterbox. So they'd lock up and all that sort of stuff. We'd get some curtains and start pulling the clothes through the letterboxes. It was initiative.
So I just thought I could smell burning for a minute then. that was it.
Yeah, it was initiative.
Sam, just thought you look at him like scum. You like, smell burnt. I'm having a stroke.
Is that what it is? Is that burning? Burnt toast?
A stroke, innit? Yeah.
I just thought I could smell burning. I haven't smelled it for a while.
Right, Sam. Did
yeah.
you? So obviously now you're part of the church. When did you start being religious? Have you always been religious?
I was about 16. Which is a really bad time, innit? When you weigh it up, like, it's not the time you normally do it, is it?
Is that the time you started going to church, or was that just the time you started thinking?
I started going to church.
Was it?
Oh, so you weren't like you weren't?
No.
Were you baptised or like christened?
I was Church of England, yeah.
Right, so you were just sort of like one of us,
like
to sort of.
Else,
But then, so did anything happen to make you?
Well,
was there any big trigger that
I met a girl.
A
divine intervention.
Well, she was fit.
I met a girl who I fancied, and she went to church.
Right.
It's always the way. It's always women that ruin your life. Yeah. The only reason I never got on well in merchants because some bird told me.
Well,
some fit bird told me to whacked hard.
She didn't. She sort of went, but didn't go. But her mum and dad did.
Yeah.
And then Ma and Dad were like trying to get me to go to church all the time.
Is this a Simpsons episode?
That was this like scally.
I'm sure like Bart is like trying to get with like Reverend Lovejoy's kid who's like a bit rogue or something. So what happened? So you were trying to get with this bird who's mum and dad were.
They wanted me to go to church because I'm at their daughter, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So I went just because I thought church was like.
And what were your mum and dad like when you started going to church? They were like,
I fella was like mostly drunk, so he would never even noticed. Literally,
Dancing in the church or on the aisle while the mass was on.
So, like, in the end, I thought church was rubbish and boring and everything else. And
what church is this that you went to?
The one I'm now the minister of.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
So it was a Baptist church that you went to?
The same one, yeah. So, and it was rubbish and it was boring, yeah. So,
but you kept going, and how long were you with this girl?
They had all these mad things back in the day. They had a thing where you went, it was the Park Hotel at the time.
Yeah.
You'll know it.
Yeah.
And it was, you went and you had a dinner and then someone would get up and talk about their life kinds of things, like an after dinner speaker thing, but a church one. And I ended up with this. Like, just not
one of the disciples.
Sam's sitting there going, it's got more gigs this.
Yeah.
Just cocktail starts and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like that. A few sounds of the cross. Got a little corporate here. Yeah. It's another little earner for me, that.
Yeah.
So we went to this thing and like it was all a bit mad. And they started like all this mad singing and stuff in it. And I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, I was 16 at the time. Yeah. And like, it was like, wow. Because that church wasn't like that. This was all mad, you know, think sister act, happy, clappy kinds of. Yeah,
I went to, when I was 16, I went to Spring Harvest or something down in Butlins.
That kind of thing.
And I remember, like, my uncle took me and I remember looking around and there's people like that as they're singing, trying to reach for God. And I was just like thinking, the fuck going on?
So it's like all these like preacher ones where they're all screaming around and
not really screaming around, but so they're very into it.
So you went to that and then what is he like? Wow, so like this is good. Wow, or this is like weird.
It was a bit weird at that, right? So it was at that though that this fella who was an ex-Muslim started talking about his life and how he came to be a Christian kind of thing, and all the kinds of death threats and all that you get for doing that. And
apostate, I believe
he was really selling it well, you know.
Right.
And it was something about what he said. To be honest, I don't know. I can't remember what he said, but I distinctly remember thinking to myself, you actually believe what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself,
Hitler, mate.
I mean, if you can convince him enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you say it with enough authority, people will follow you.
He convinced me. I'm with the Hitler Youth now.
He did work for Britain's Got Talent as well, did he?
Probably. So that was what I distinctly remember of it, thinking, you actually believe this stuff. And I was struck by that. And I remember thinking to myself, if I had wanted faith, because I didn't think I didn't believe in a God. But I wasn't bothered. And I didn't think God was bothered if there was a God. Do you get? I was there. I wasn't like, there is no God. I wasn't an. I'd say.
You sound like you're like meeting the announcers thing. I'm sure there's something, but I'm
not that bothered.
Yeah. I'm not bothered. I'm sure there's something. I'm not really bothered.
What's that shit house one between atheist and religious? What's that shit?
Agnostic.
That's the one.
That's what I mean.
It was that. Yeah. So
you just weren't asked.
No, I wasn't. 16, you know what I mean? It was that. There was something about that triggered the initial thing.
But like you could have thought that, but then not have gone into it. So what was the thing that made you go like?
This is where it's going to get all weird, and I'm going to come across as weird.
Yeah. Then we're going to have to go. Okay, Sam. So stories you're talking about, just completely cast them aside. Go.
I'll be honest. I'm sitting thinking
you should be on Church Street, mate, shouting at people outside Forever 21.
I'm sitting thinking, I wonder how much of it relates to Sam's story with drugs and alcohol. Or something like, you go, well, you fancy your beard, and you go, oh, fucking hell, don't. And you start thinking, you drink, and you think, fucking all right, this, I didn't like me first sip. After a couple of, it's not too bad, that, am I? He's believing what he's saying, the bloody piss. I want to get to that level of piss.
To the weird shit. Go on, so when did you say it went a bit
so, like,
kooky?
What happened then was, they said, does anyone, kind of the typical thing they do in church, or they did back in the day, does anyone want to become a Christian? Right, put your hands up.
Right.
I put my hands up, right? I put my hands up, and then he said, "All right, okay, yeah."
Because like, why? You say it like you don't know what you were doing.
Because I thought, if that's faith, I'll have a bit of that, but I don't want what I'd seen up to that point, because I didn't think anyone I'd met who was in church believed it themselves.
No,
you wanted the conviction in what he's saying.
It was the more the conviction, so I thought, if that's it, I'll have a bit of that, but I don't want what I've seen. Not that they weren't sincere in that. I just didn't feel they were sincere.
Yeah.
So anyway, he then does the typical thing that they do in churches then, okay, everyone who's put their hands up, come forward. And I am painfully shy, right? I am.
So you went backwards.
So I'm like trying to get under
Painfully
the table
shy on
at this
Britain's Got
point.
Talent.
No, I am proper shy and socially awkward most of the
Right,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm trying to hide, right, literally. And like four people went to the front, and he was going pray for them, right? And I'm thinking, no, there's no way I'm going up there, right?
Yeah.
No way. And he literally went, there's one more person who put their hands up who hasn't come forward. And I'm dying. I'm literally dying, right? And someone got up.
And you're
like,
cheeky cunt.
Get in.
get in. Like, I'm relieved, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but it was...
And that was when you were convinced there was a God.
No. Literally a week later, I take me... She's my girlfriend by this point, and has been for a bit, like... And she's now my wife.
I was going to say, you were still the same girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, she lived in the kind of posher end of Bootle, Kerardy Avenue. Right, so it's posh, yeah. It's like King Avenue, so it's not that posh.
It's not posh anymore. Like, that might have been posh back in your day. It's definitely not posh now.
I was from the Klondike, so it was definitely posh.
Right, I'm the posh part of Bootle now.
You are, yeah. Yeah, so...
Lither than you, aren't you?
You had to go through the
No,
SEM.
Bootle, innit?
You had to go through the SEM.
Yeah.
And there used to be a big church in the middle of that in the back of the day. And every night she fell for it. Don't leave me in the cemetery. Every night we'd walk through the cemetery and I'd run away and hide and then jump out on it. And literally every night she fell for the same thing, screaming, running away and all that. Like a Michael Jackson video. Shouldn't mention him really, shouldn't
Maybe she just wanted a fantasy.
Probably.
Yeah.
I know what you're then thinking. These Baptists are a bit fucking gullible, aren't they?
Yeah. She thinks he's fucking like weird. Like, he's not half slow. Every night he wants to do this scare thing to me. Like, I just got to go along with it. Like, oh no, Allan, not again.
I'm giving it to Mason Greenwood in the graveyard.
Fuck you,
It got dark now.
fucking hell.
You won't be flying down the wing anymore, will he? Well, he will.
One way, yeah.
Yeah, so I ends up going back.
Samantha.
It was a bit early, so I went in for the coffee. It's about 10:15.
Hold on. So you're in the cemetery. You've done the scare thing. Walked it home.
Yeah, I got to her house. Yeah. Couldn't walk past the corrie because there was always a gang by the corrie that wanted to kick me head in. Right, so couldn't go.
You
that
specifically
way.
or anyone?
Just anyone, but me in particular
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. So that's why we went through the SEM.
Yeah.
Okay, because you could go the corrie way.
Right.
And it was the corrie, and gets there. It's like 10:15, having a cup of coffee, and like they literally.
I've just got a vision of a cartoon of him, of his missus running scared through it, and then him running scared back like a cartoon from this gang. Like, he's chasing one way, and he's chasing the other.
It was with them pesky kids.
I was just bad the whole time.
Yeah.
She'd set him up every time.
Go on. Sorry,
I once got attacked by a gang of dogs outside that library in Bootle. Like
Jesus.
10 of them. Just surrounded me and attacked me, yeah. But anyway, that's another story.
Did they have owners with them, or were they just like a wild pack of dogs?
Oh, back in the day,
Oh,
there
back
was
in
just
the day, you
wild
have
dogs.
leads and all that, did you? You just
It
let
was
them
just dogs everywhere.
My auntie literally used. I still find this mad now. My auntie used to open the door. The dog go out and come back at 5 o'clock at tea time.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
That was just normal.
dog used to just roam the streets.
Well, you definitely must have accidentally tried smashing a greenhouse window with white dog shit. Thinking it was a stone. You used to throw it and you used to crumble in your hand and blow it back in your face.
Not gonna lie to you, Sam. I haven't.
You don't know your bone.
You've never lived yet.
You're middle class.
Yeah. He was from the posh end of Bootle.
Yeah. Boss built with 3 meals a day and your shoes and your
3 meals.
Shoot with your shoes on.
And your shins.
fancy matching shoes.
Yeah. Go on, right, let's get to it.
So I ends up in her house. Anyway, it's a really long story, but I'll shorten it.
Right.
So 10 o'clock at night, someone knocks at the door and says, the old fella had heart problems. So someone from the church, and it was in an order, but I can't remember. I don't write everything down on my phone.
You've got to
We didn't have phones then, did we? And literally, this fella knocks and he says, "Is everything all right? I felt God told me to come to your house." to the dad. The dad's got heart problems. This is why I said it'll go weird. Right. This bit'll get cut anyway, so be all right.
Oh no, this won't get cut.
And he
try and take the piss out of it now.
This is gonna like Britain's Got Talent. It's gonna get weird.
So
you're gonna put pauses in.
Yeah.
He knocked and they invited him in, and he said, "No, I'm all right." And he said, "I felt like to come to you. You're all right. I'll pray for you while I'm here." So
You've done this at every other fucking door, you know.
No,
been
then
house door to door.
another lad's knocked.
How are you getting home? Or any money for the taxi? Yeah,
Another lad knocked who I knew.
Yeah.
Right, because I'd been that shit once or twice. So I knew him, and he come and he had the same story, but he was going past on his motorbike and felt to call in. Right, and I think 10 o'clock at night you don't knock at people's houses, do you? Not even in working class areas.
No.
Don't really.
No.
And then I think the next
Unless you're a
person
con man.
was the man.
The next person, so another one turned up as
So
well.
there was 3, and the other one.
He loves sending people in freeze. God, doesn't he? Fucking hell.
He's got a finger about it.
He loves sending people in freeze.
So this third person, who was the minister of the church, turned up.
Yeah.
And he said he was in his house and felt God told him to come. I was thinking, wouldn't you have rang
me?
Yeah. See, this is why I don't tell the story.
I believe you. No, I do.
No, I mean, I'm telling you what happened. You know what I mean?
He's gonna be a minister now.
Yeah.
I've got.
I believe you. I just don't believe them.
So the 3 of them turns up in
There's
the
a
house.
con on you.
Right? So I'm sat on the couch like there.
Yeah.
They decide they're going to kneel in on the. There's a fire there. They decide they're going to kneel on the mat and pray for them to get healed from his heart complaint. He died
That he didn't know he
about
had.
a year later, so it didn't work. Okay, that's a spoiler, but right.
So
I'm
did a
thinking
year too
I'll
soon?
drink me coffee, and he knew he had a heart complaint,
Right.
and I'll just get off because this has gone proper weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was during that bit that one of them spoke in a weird language.
Tongues.
Yeah.
Give me a 10.
Kawasaki.
No, just wool. Wasn't songs, it was just wool.
Yeah.
He had a twang.
Yeah. So
He asked for some paracetamol.
one of them did that, but it was like they understood what he said. I didn't. It was just gibberish to me, right? And they all just turned around and looked at me, right? And one of them said, "God said we've got to deal with you first." Well, I nearly died. Like I was like hoping the couch would swallow me up.
What, because of just like these psychopaths?
Well, it was just all a bit freaky for me, you know what I mean? I'm not
Just a bit like.
If I had
used
3
to, like-
people in my house going, we got to deal with you because of God's, I'd be like, mate, this is the fucking Mujahideen of people coming into my house.
One of the heads was spinning.
Getting chilled up, yeah.
No, so like, but basically that night they explained to me what I would now call the gospel kinds of thing, that Jesus came, died on a cross, blah,
Yeah.
rose again 3 days later. Yeah. They explained that to me and asked me, did I want to come to faith kind of thing.
Right.
And I thought, and I did.
Why? You did want to? Or?
I did want to, yeah. So,
but you knew in that moment you did want to, you think?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I did. I definitely, I didn't know what it would mean or what it, I don't think I knew what it was properly.
Yeah.
But I wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding here. This is proof's in the pudding. You know, here's one for you. As a result of doing it, has it enriched your life and do you feel better for it?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes it's been.
Not when you're on beach.
Everyone has.
Not when you're on beach, got talent down your ass with your funeral stuff.
With the dog collar.
I knew them fucking 3 cunts that came into me parents' house with fucking wrong uns.
If that's the
3
case,
wise men, were they?
whether it's a placebo or not,
3 judges. There were 3
it's been a
judges.
good thing then.
It probably made me do. Well, I went to a funeral.
Oh, you don't think it was a long con because he put his hand up in church, do you?
I went to a funeral.
Yeah, this is his path. Don't be dissing his path.
I'm not dissing it,
not.
but you said whether it's placebo. Well, then when you said placebo, I mean, do you think this wasn't a long con because he put his hand up in church?
I literally
like
went
they
to a
all planned
funeral
to do
about
it because he put his hand up in
15 years
church.
later, and I'm maybe a bit more, maybe 20 years later. I went to one of my mates' funerals, right?
Yeah.
And I'm now the minister of the church. I haven't seen anyone from our school for ages because I ended up in church circles instead of going out with and all that kind of stuff, which is still a regret, but never mind. But anyway, and I went to the funeral, and one of my mates came up to me, Joey Cole. He came up to me and he went, "Wow, is that you? I well had you down as dead by now." Because I used to drink that much, you know, proper.
At 16?
Oh yeah, we were going to the pub.
Yeah, they'll go to the pub but drinking that much sort of thing. No.
Yeah, I know, heavy.
So do you reckon you were like sort of done with, like, you were like a 50-year-old at 20
Well, not quite.
You were like that, weren't you? We came to the conclusion that Sam was like
Yes.
a fucking 50-year-old fella at 9.
I was very functional.
Sam come out the womb and was like, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah.
There was only a small window of that because when I
Yeah, your mic's gone off. I think you pulled the cable out.
Didn't really go to school.
Hold
Didn't
on.
really go to school.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's better.
Didn't really go to school, but there was only when he started drinking, it was still the old clubby, your Romeo and Juliet type. Do you know them sort of nightclub, never too much chinos on? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Black leather handbags. So that was only so we was taking speed and all. We never had booze on it, so it was always a mixer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it was acid,
Always a chaser.
speed.
Yeah.
There was always something to go with it. We was like that generation. Then in '88, the rave scene kicked off because we just look around these clubs thinking, "Where's my people? Where's my people?" '88, bang, here's my people.
See, I miss all that.
When did you stop drinking then? Or not? When did you start going to church and stop going out?
Stop drinking.
No, but when did you stop? Like,
Literally got a beer now. He's had one sip.
I know. But like
He's got
when
a
you
beer
like,
now.
you're saying like you didn't go out with the lads. At what age were you? Like 16, you stopped.
Yeah, but
Quite.
but
I
at
sort of
14,
faded
you go
away.
in the pub.
Right.
I faded away from that because I was doing churchy stuff. So you kind of end up in a different circle. And we moved.
At what age
Yeah.
was that circle though? What age were you in that other circle? Would you say if you
I was
look?
about 18-ish. So
Yeah.
So you were like
I'm
just
16 coming round to me mates saying I'm like I've become a Christian and they're all
Right.
thinking I'm mental, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and all that. So they don't want to hang around with you anyway. It's great for getting a spare
Yeah.
seat on a bus and that, you know, just talk to someone about
Yeah.
Jesus. They soon get off.
yeah.
So,
Nice one,
So
God.
you did it for you.
So yeah, 18-ish, and I just drifted away from all them mates. But I met them again in this funeral when they thought I was dead. And literally now we meet on a Monday night.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll probably
Going to
go
meet
from
them
here
after
to
this.
meet them.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
So we've stayed in touch.
Well, you
since
just go
that
to
funeral.
booze or something? Just go
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
pint?
We used to go to the Warbrecht, which
Can
is
I-
shut now, but
So, you know, right, you know, when you're 16, we're all 16, we all have urges, we all want to do certain things. When did any of that stop? Like you wanting to get fucking, like wanting to get bladdered and that. Then did you just wake up one day and decide that's not for me anymore? And it's like just because you're going to church, or like because like
No,
when I was 16, I just wanted to chase birds, I wanted to
I would say it was
drink, I
more
wanted to like parties.
because I started hanging around with more churchy people. I
Yeah.
started stopping doing that because you're not in the same.
That's what I mean. It wasn't that you didn't want to do it anymore.
toddlers instead.
Fucking hell. I thought Sam was going to the worst one.
No, you just end up doing different things if you get
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, but that's
And
what I mean.
I
It was,
wasn't that bothered.
yeah.
that's, you didn't have the desire to go
No.
on and get bladdered then.
No, probably not as.
Had you
bothered.
lost it because you were excited about this other thing then?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Right.
I'm less as excited now. I'm much more like.
Yeah, it's like stand up in it.
You could argue, to be truthful, what you're looking for, it's a very similar thing. Even the rave scene, you're looking for, it's a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
You might be going down the wrong avenue with it. You could even stand-up comedy. Do you there?
Yeah.
It's all looking for something more than you are, innit?
It's sort of
looking out there for that sort of thing.
Sort of out of body in it, but not out of body. You know
that
what I mean?
sort of
Yeah.
thing. So it's all a very similar, same sort of thing. However, if you don't know how much, we know people, don't we? Don't know how much success you get, or what you get, or what woman you get with, or what car you've got. If you're not happy in yourself, you're never going to be happy. It's never. And that was a really nice quote someone said the other day. I think there was. I'm paraphrasing, but there was this big rich bloke in America. He had everything, yachts and all that sort of stuff, and he was in there. He had a lot, big party on. And there's someone there who was sort of semi-successful, didn't have it in the same league as this rich guy. And he was getting interviewed. He was sort of talking to someone on the couch. And he went, "Wow." This other person said, "Look at all this stuff he's got here. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's got the thing and this, that, and the other, and the white. Oh, it's unbelievable." But it's in the semi-successful person says, "Yeah, but I've got something he hasn't got." He says, "What?" He said, "I've got enough." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is. I've got enough. Some people just, it's all consuming, isn't it? Do you know, it's like, I don't know, people like, you working way up the farm, do you know what I mean? You get there. It's false dawns, isn't it? False dawns.
I mean, I've never, because of that, I think I've never done that. I've never been bothered about having a better
Materialistic
job and
things,
all
yeah.
that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got an alright house and stuff like that. You get what I
that's
mean?
It's enough, isn't it?
But I've never wanted the promotion in work. I can't be bothered with it, you know what I
When
mean?
did you stop
didn't wanna
working
be
and started
minister.
working in church then, sort of thing?
Yeah, that was probably about full time. It will have been about 10 years ago. That
When did you start?
But when
When was you
started
started volunteering and doing stuff?
I was volunteering almost from day one, but then
Was you?
I've been in this church for 30. I don't know. I'm 55. How many years have I been in? I was 16.
39 years.
Been in it 39 years.
Right.
And I've been the minister of it. Technically, the minister for 16 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 17, and I was running it before that.
Right.
But I've been paid full time.
Yeah.
For the last 10, I would say, maybe a bit less, maybe 8, 9.
So when you say full time, so how often are you working? What is it you? What is the work?
What is work for a minister of
What is it? What you going? I've been full time. So it's just one Sunday, or do you do?
Well, no, because then you got to watch who's put their hand up, and then you got to fucking go and get 3 lads to go around. The birds and start
you got to keep the scam
all over again.
Yeah.
You got to scare someone straight, haven't you?
So he looks vulnerable. We'll recruit him.
You got to watch him play his little games in the cemetery. You go 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
So what have you got to do then? Like, you obviously give the.
You drink lots of coffee with people, and you chat a lot with people. There's stuff.
So you just like sort of like a care work, not like a care work, like a social work sort of thing, like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's some days I can be out all day, and I'll come home and I'll go, I don't even know what I've done.
So did the church then say to you? So I don't know who would employ that, but would they go to you like, you just need to be available for anyone to come speak to you between 9 and 5 Monday to Thursday, and
you are anyway. You're kind of never off. You're available 24/7 in some ways.
Yeah. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had someone come to you at mad times and like, I need to speak to you? And
yeah, you get phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning and all that type of stuff.
He never answers me. Fuck him. I don't live in Bootle, so I'm not allowed to use him.
Blocked him.
If I just get the middle finger emoji coming back.
So our church has got a shop. So it's community pantry type.
What are you flogging?
Food.
Ciggies.
Food and ciggies off Sam.
Homemade jam and all that.
Homemade jam.
Just a front for the cat, innit?
Yeah. It's like the Ozark. See the first season of the Ozark where they're all on the lake. They're giving a sermon, we're really getting drunk, passed down the Bible.
There's
so you've just got to be available for people to contact you. And so how many times are you giving a sermon or like in church actually?
At the moment, once a week. Well, at the moment, I'm off sick.
He's on the sick. I don't know you could be on the sick.
Don't tell anyone. This isn't going
He's
out
off the booze after this. He's on the sick.
That's like, I said, well, surely though, your religion means you still got to go to church. Like, you can't be on the sick and then be there in mass, just like saying your Our Father.
Don't believe in science. God will heal me. Fucking, I've seen him in the doctors. You liar.
So I'm getting his boost to the rat.
Yeah.
You've knocked your cable out again. There you go.
We had to go to Catholic schools, us.
Right.
We lived on shit. We were feral. We were tramps. We had a pot to piss in. But because we were Catholics, because my mum said you're a Catholic, that's how it works.
That's it, yeah.
Comprehensive school at the top of the street, wherever we lived on the estate. Girls there could wear what you went. We were Catholics, so it was 2 bus rides miles away.
Yeah.
And it was... but, however, I'll tell you... I always thought... I didn't have faith and all that and trust, but I never questioned there was a God. I just accepted...
Because you had it drilled into you, didn't you? From like
No, I didn't know, because I'm not like practicing... I just assumed there was.
Yeah.
Not even because it's
just naturally.
Yeah.
I just think you had too much going on to even bother thinking about it. It's like, I've got to get out of this fucking cafe. I don't even give a fuck whether there's a God or not.
Yeah, but they were brutal. They were brutal. The teachers, you'd punch in the face.
Our teachers were brutal. I went to like the Georges.
Yeah.
And our teachers, I've been picked up, shoved upside down into a bin, like the big bins, you know, the ones for the dinner ladies and all that. I've been butted in the nose by a teacher.
Fucking hell.
Punched.
Oh, they were ruthless.
For what?
Oh, yeah. Butted in the nose. We were on a holiday, church, the school holiday. Yeah, we went to...
I think this is going to be a deserved note, by the way. We're going, let's see.
We went to France.
Very rarely on the teacher's side.
Bob's been on the podcast now trying to say that violence should be made legal in certain circumstances. So let's see whether this one is illegal or legal.
We're too quick to condemn violence, I think, in this country.
I would agree with you to a degree.
Yeah, right. Let's go on. Let's see whether this was a warranted headbutt.
School holiday. I think, was it Spain or France? It was one of them, you know.
Right.
A school holiday abroad?
I know.
It's probably the first
little bougie over there, brutal bougie.
Probably the first one I'd ever been
pay for your
on a coach.
Did you see? I bet you. I bet you even paid for your school dinners, didn't you? As well.
27 hours on it
to get there.
You weren't even on free dinners.
Yeah, I didn't get free dinners.
Fucking hell!
He used to rob him
in the posh part.
Bloody hell, Tarquin.
I used to go home and steak pie out the chippy. Right? So we went on this holiday and I got caught talking to some girls. Right. So I got sent to my room. And
girls
I
from the holiday or just
other girls, not with
from
us,
locals,
just
some locals,
some others, right?
He was speaking in tongues.
He
was speaking in tongues to them.
Big dick. That's German.
I need to deal with you first, God said.
I'll tell you about my French exam in a minute, right? Back in the day, right? But anyway, I got sent to
pussy.
Didn't have the key, so I came back down to get my key. The teacher who sent me to my room seen me, thought I was messing, like just not going to the room. Just come over and buttered me.
How old were you?
Through the head in.
About 14.
Fucking hell.
Do you know what, right? There's a lad. I'm friends with his son.
Teachers though and all that. It was that kind of
There's a teacher at our school, right?
Drinking and smoking.
I messed about
on holiday.
I dicked about. I was ruthless, but there was a certain teacher. I won't say his name. I'm friends with his son.
Right.
You didn't mess about in his class. He'd kill you.
Oh yeah.
He would kill you. He would punch you. You didn't mess about. You tried your best and do that.
Yeah.
And in the year before, first time in our school, an Oriental kid came. He could have been from somewhere Oriental.
Same with
I don't know where. The teacher was a geography teacher, right? First day of class, he got him to stand up in front of the whole class and apologise for Pearl Harbor.
Jesus,
honestly, ours was like this.
Was he American?
No, wasn't even American.
Honestly, ours was like that. It was literally awful.
You see, it all makes sense, doesn't it, about where we're at now? When you listen to the generation before, like, it's like, this is all. It's not that long ago, is it?
He might have gone too far. Listen, library. Yeah, I was in library reading a book. And I'm dyslexic, I found out loads later. It was just
that was from the fucking headbutt, mate. The concussion you were
reading it.
CTE.
And I'm literally on.
I'm not dyslexic, mate.
And you had to be silent.
So you read it out loud?
No, I was reading it to myself, but I must have been mumbling. Right? So the library teacher, Mr. Bruce, who was
speaking in tongues,
he was like Hitler. Honestly, he literally was. You had to go. It was
he believed everything he was fucking saying.
Only one. Literally only one in the whole school where you went in and you had to stand behind your desk before you sat down. And he'd come in and he'd go, "Good morning, class," and you'd go, "Good morning, Mr. Bruce," and he'd go, "Okay, you may be seated," and you sat down and his was like silence. And our school was mental, right? It was mental, right? And I was literally reading this book once. Next minute, I'm on the floor. He's come behind me, grabbed me by the ear, dragged me off the back of my chair, and he's got his knee in my chest going to punch me. "Don't you talk in my class." I was like, I wasn't talking, I was reading.
I could hear you reading in your head.
It was ruthless.
Thinking.
Stop reading so loud.
I was banned. I wasn't even allowed in some class. I wasn't allowed in the woodwork in our woodwork lesson because it was
on the head.
It was woodwork.
Because you was building ladders to rob shops with. That's right.
There was a little. My little mate Marky Adams. My little mate Marky. This is weird. My little mate Marky Adams moved to this estate. My dad wasn't around long. Do you know what I mean? My mum had 5 kids with him, but they weren't together that long. It was weird. So my dad it was weird. So my dad would drink, old school drink, bitter and all that sort of stuff. So you'd see him periodically. My mum would send us to go and find your dad and get some money. It was horrible.
Go and find your dad.
Get some money. So we go around all the pubs. It was horrible.
GPS, where is he?
So that was it.
Pokemon Go.
It's only one of 5 pubs in it.
Then we moved from this lovely little estate to the big estate. So we went to a new school. So little Marky Adams was sat behind me. He was only like small. I'd like stick up for him, little Mark, and all this. And I'd met his mum a bit, after tea at the house and all this sort of stuff. And little Mark come in one day. He was sat behind me and he said, "Sam." I said, "What?" He said, "What's your dad called?" I said, "He's called Jim." He went, "Oh." He says, "What does he do?" I said, "He's a paint decorator." I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, he stayed at our house last night." My mum. My dad ended up with his man for like 16 years, but that's not the story. It was in woodwork, but it was doing metalwork that day. And this lad who we didn't like, he come in with a brand new head bag Head bag. He had all the gear, feeler, Cicchini tops, with Poplar Tramps, you know what I mean? Come with this head bag, and it was like a nylon one, and all this, dead jealous and bitter and full of poison. And he had it down there, these bags. So what we was doing is, when was brand new, when was heating up the metal, we was just dropping it on his bag.
They used to like brand you with the triangle things off the Bunsen burners. They used to brand you.
Yeah, they still did that when I was in school,
Just like...
It was unbelievable. So we're melting his bag, and there's smoke come off his bag. The lad sees it, bursts into tears. We're only about 14. Bursts into tears and all this. And he knew it was me and Adams. Harland, Adams, get here now. Do you know what I mean? Get to the front. And he'd pull this thing up the drawer like they used to, like this mad, like table tennis bat, what he'd bed himself.
That he made himself.
Meter ruler. The wooden meter rulers they used to mess with.
Smashed it, and I was agony, but you're walking back smiling like you didn't hear, but it killed. And he got little Mark, and little Mark's only little, do you know what I mean? Little skinny, do you know what I mean? So he went to, but Mark pulled away, he went, stay still, Adams. He went, oh no, he went, stay still, Adams, stay still. So he hit him, he had his hand there, he hit him on the hand. Mark, just out of anger and rage, ran up to the table, picked up a triangle piece of perspex,
like jail.
threw it, and it stuck in his fucking head. And it was stuck in his head for about 3 seconds, the teacher. They just dropped, and he dropped as well. And that was it. I was banned from the class forever.
Simon, you've got no idea.
You were banned because of Mark?
Yeah.
You got no idea what school was like. I did my French exam. And I'm rubbish at French, getting back to that story, right? Just picked it because it was better than the other option.
Fucking gunpoint.
Whatever the other option was. Right?
It was better than black eye, so I picked it.
I mean, in our school, they had O-levels and CSEs at the time.
Right, yeah.
And literally, O-level class had 4 people in it for geography.
Because the rest what were in hospital.
3 of them got pregnant.
Just to get out of it.
Yeah.
By the teacher.
But I'm literally doing the French exam, and the teacher said, he's talking to me in French, and you've got the cassette recorder, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, he presses record. He's asked me a question in French, and I'm looking at him, got no idea what he said to me. I'm just looking at him.
I can't even do English, mate.
I got the same mark for English as French. And he said,
I can't read without talking out loud. What do you fucking do, mate?
He paused the tape. He said to me, just say this. And he said something in French to me, and I went, sound. Put it back on. Right? Seriously, put it back on. I said it. He paused it again. He went, you dickhead, you still got it wrong. Get out.
Get out. I'll just do your voice.
Yeah.
Oh, it was brutal, yeah. We used to come in, we used to turn up late. We used to turn up late for class when the assembly was on. And me and my sister and my brother, because we knew the assembly was on, so we knew the headmaster was doing the assembly. We used to go into his office, get into his drawer, and nick the petty cash. Because we knew he was in there.
Right.
We were starving. We're hungry. Just a few snarlers. Do you know what I mean?
You see, you seem like you just got terrorised, whereas you seem like
he was the one terrorising me.
Like he just seems like he's just been fucking. He's had a nightmare, so he's just gone to church for a break. He's like, this'll do. And everyone seems fine.
Yeah.
He went to church, winced once. Everyone, what did you wince him for? He went, this'll do me. This'll do me.
Oh yeah,
It sounds fucking like you've been in fucking jail in that school.
Oh no, it was proper brutal. Like our school was proper brutal. It was always murder.
Yeah.
Always murder. I look back at some photographs now, and there's bricks everywhere. There's bricks everywhere in the playground type stuff, and literally there's no windows. No one made the correlation.
Yeah.
I was sat in a maths class again. No word of a lie, honestly, and I got this maths class, and we had the teacher. She was a woman, and she was a bit scared of everyone. So I'm sat in the maths class. I'm sat in my seat. Right, the class is on fire. Someone has set fire to the bin and then booted it everywhere. So there's little fires everywhere. Honestly, this is my life. Like, this is why I ended up on building sites.
You got PTSD. I think you got PTSD.
Literally, it's on fire. On fire, right? And I'm sat on my chair. My desk is gone because it's been thrown through the window. It's gone. The teacher ran out crying. And I'm sat there, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself,
I just want to join the chat.
I'm never going to pass maths. I'm never passing maths. And I never...
Jesus.
Not with that attitude, Allan.
Defeatist.
Count the fucking embers, son.
Yeah.
You tell people...
What set were you in? Did it not matter?
I was in the second to top. Second to top.
Yeah.
Second top. I wasn't even...
the shit is said. Jesus Christ.
Well, me mate
He was on a medium flame. That's what he was on.
on it, right? My mate was in that one, right? And he used to get sent out by the woodwork and the metalwork teachers to rob car radios.
By the teachers.
They used to come back and sell them to the teachers. Honestly.
We went on one school trip, right? One school trip to this like boating lake and was doing like that windsurfing
Yeah, I've
thing.
done that.
It was
Out
crap.
of bounds.
It was like, well, yeah, out of bounds, a lot of crap. I'd open me my packed lunch. My mum, this is poor. My mum had actually, we're doing some energetic. We're going on a school trip, the first one ever. She'd actually done me pack up botch, marmalade on Ravitas. Marmalade on fucking
Delicious.
Ravitas. That was it.
How many?
So we got there.
Once. Marmalade on Rivita.
There was no else in. So we got to this boating lake and all this sort of stuff. So there was like a little jetty thing. The bloke's getting ready. There's a little jetty, then there's a boating lake. And it looked deeper than it was. Yeah. So I ran to the
You jump in, yeah, it's sound.
That's what we did. We jumped in, it went up to about my knees.
Yeah.
A few of them came and said, it's only up to your knees, up to your
Go
knees.
ahead
You're
first,
all right.
Sam.
That's it, one lad did. So we did the old Bobby Down, do you know, the old Bobby Down thing like that?
Yeah.
They're like that. Some lad, Darren, not all there, do you know what I mean?
Not now, anyway.
He buried him.
You know, like on the States, we were feral,
Yeah.
but we weren't one of them mutant families. You know, the mutant families. You know, when something's gone on, but you don't really know what's gone on, but something's gone on. You go around to his house and his dad would be stripping a Kawasaki 250 in the front room. Do you know what I mean? Caliscon vest on, mad. So we did all that ducking down. Oh, is it? Oh, he comes up, Darren. Is it deep? Yeah, you can't touch it. Come on, you can't touch your bottom. We were kneeling on it. Bloody swallowed dive. It was beautiful. Right, bang, on his face. Come on, broke his nose, grit blood all over his face.
God,
so that was the first thing. So first of all, we did that.
Is he doing this? He's getting fucking swatted.
Exactly.
And he's trying to kill people left, right, and centre.
Then what
And he
happened
ended up in rehab and he's gone to fucking church.
It gets worse. So the bloke that was going to send us home after that for nearly killing him, he had to go off in an ambulance. So we're
They
doing
were going to send you home, but he thought, no.
No, we'll keep it worrying now, aren't we? So we sent up an ambulance and all this sort of stuff. He goes off with an ambulance because he's broken his nose, he's got grit in his face, half blinded. So we do the thing, then we get back on the minibus, then we're going, and as we're going, pulling out on the minibus, there was like two guides or two, what would you call them?
Instructors.
Instructors. One of the instructors stopped the van like this, stop the van. Someone had pinched the other instructor's wallet and watch. Someone had nicked it, and they would not move. And we had to get to that point. No one was going to hand it in because it's on top.
Yeah.
So they got to the point where they said, "Listen, if it just gets put on there,
Right,
no one
an
else will do
amnesty.
This is after about an hour and a half, and it landed there. But yeah, someone had it. Yeah.
I mean, we weren't as poor as that. We were all. My half had a job and that, so it was all right. You know what I mean? He was a functioning alcoholic. He used to drink a bottle of vodka every night, like. Yeah. But we were all. We had food and that. But me mate, he stayed in ours once. And we gave him cornflakes in the morning and put milk on them. And he went, "Eee, what are you doing?" I went, "Some cornflakes." He went, "Yeah, but what are you putting that on it for?" I said, "Why? What do you have on your cornflakes?" Water. Water. Seriously. And he thought I was weird. Water. They've got no idea though, have they? Today. I mean,
Marvel was bad.
Marvel was terrible.
I've had carnation on cornflakes, carnation milk.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Honest, yeah. I mean, I think we had it all
We'll
right.
never experience this.
We had it all right.
We
had it all right compared to the generation before us, I think.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like, it was getting better. But this generation now,
Would you know, I think I've got it bad to this one. I go stay at the guest house in Hull, when you doing the comedy lounge, and there's a bloke there.
I'm only a middle spot. I don't get the guest house.
I'll put a word in for you. Biggest there, biggest at the comedy lounge and on the dinner circuit. You know what I mean?
Anyway, there's free food.
Well, he has, and I love staying up. I stay up with him most of the night. Talking.
Stay up with him.
And he's 72. and it's just a different ball game again. He used to like go. His mum would
know
send
what Sam's doing, don't you?
His mum would
Putting
send
the
him.
spade work for that guest house.
He's honest to God, his mum would. I'll tell you one thing. It's a Netflix documentary waiting to happen that place. Honest to God, his mum would send him out for pig's trotters to the slaughterhouse, and they'd come back and boil them. He was sleeping with his grandma in the same bed as his grandma. There's 9 of him in a 2-bedroomed house. Sleeping with his grandma till he was like 13. Do you know, just
shagging her as well.
Well, you wouldn't know, would you? You wouldn't know.
I mean, me wife's granddad used to make his own paint. Like, but he could only make light blue. Everything was light blue. Like everything, the ceiling, the walls, the skirtboards, the doors, his missus, his car. Honestly, light blue. He went to his house and everything was light blue gloss.
Why?
I don't know.
How do you even make stuff?
I don't know how you make paint.
I
don't make paint. You know. Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
That's so funny. That,
but but I was saying on the way in, wasn't I? I didn't know what university was. Never heard of it.
So what uni you went? I didn't even actually know what a university was.
If any in schools to go by, I thought, what?
I didn't know. We didn't know anyone went to college. On our estate, no one went to college. If you had a job, you were like, whoa, he's got a job.
But everyone went to
show off.
If you were clever in our school, you ended up in the gyro. That was it. That was it. That was, and you topped it up. You were working in the gyro. Right?
You were a fucking
Don't forget,
catch.
this is 83, and I'm leaving school. There's no work. Everyone's getting off from Liverpool.
Did you have the old crisis loan?
No.
You still get them.
YTS.
You still get a crisis loan.
Your training scheme, 25 quid a week.
The thing with crisis loans is you had to have a different excuse every time you went in.
You had to have another crisis.
Have I told you this one?
Another week in school.
So back in the day, so we do our balls.
What's your crisis? Where do you want to start?
Drugs and drink and all that. So we go for a crisis loan. But they'd log a crisis loan, and you had to obviously got the gyro, but you had to come up with a different excuse every time. So me and our kid would take turns. So I've just been to Iceland and bought like £90 worth of frozen food, and my lecky went and it's all melted. Or do you know, just any stuff. Oh, my dog needs treatment or something like that. Yeah. So I remember one time it was
stop buying 90 quid's worth of frozen food, then you're belling. Get tin stuff.
Yeah, and we'd really push the boat out. Thought we're not going to get rattling and shaking, need a drink, need the drugs, rattling and shaking, arse falling out. Do you know what I mean? I think, oh God, we'll push the boat. Anyway, so it takes hours. Anyway, eventually our kid, it's his turn, so he gets the window and all that sort of stuff. He says, Mr. Harland, anyway, comes up and all this sort of stuff. He said, have you applied for another crisis loan? He said, yeah.
Yes, another crisis loan.
I said, yeah, it was all
My
about,
life's a drama.
You can imagine, this is what it's come to.
You've had more crisis loans than you've had fucking...
God. And but there was logic.
Sam's just there, what am I like?
But there was logic in what he said, because obviously you're unemployed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You get a crisis loan because you've done your job seeker allowance. So he gets this and all that. So he says, on this occasion, we are going to give you one last crisis loan, Mr. Harland.
Nice one.
One last. And inside, just yes,
it's a win.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's a win. But
really?
he says, but I'm going to have to tell you now, this will be the last one you'll be getting.
Sure.
He says, why? He says, why? He says, we've just looked on the system and you owe us £783 in previous crisis loan. He says, what? She said, £773. He says, really? He said, yeah. He said, what you letting me all that for? You know, I'm out of work. Which is logic, innit? You know what I mean? The crackers.
Surely a crisis loan is there to just be like, we're not expecting this back.
No, you have to pay it back.
Oh, you have to pay it back years later to get older.
So much a week out of your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What I was trying to explain was, I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
For me, it was just the way things were.
Yeah.
School was like that.
It wasn't until you saw church that you saw the way out.
It wasn't until I met other people who
to be honest, I think I'd be religious right now if I...
But it wasn't until I met other people that didn't get turned upside down in the bin and that and the school and butted by the teacher that you think, hey, our school was weird.
Wasn't the better Alda didn't swat me to the fourth.
It's kind of like if you're fucking... Like if you're a billionaire, there's no point of reference. You just wouldn't know what it's like.
Yeah, it's like that Molly May thing. And just doesn't understand.
And you're talking sort of very similar place. You're talking Hull, Liverpool, 70s, 80s, industry ripped out.
I was in school 79 to 80.
Yeah, they just...
You had rage.
When I left school, I went to a job centre and they wanted a job in. want a job.
There wasn't a job on the book.
YTS I got.
They want a job. What, £26, £27.50 a week?
25. I'm
25 was it? Yeah.
So 25 quid a week.
Okay, now what do you give for 27?
You have to give your mum a tenner.
Yeah, but what's that now? 25 quid a week?
Probably about 80 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, you could go out to club, come back, get fish and chips.
I'd spend it in one day in the pub.
Yeah. And the thing is, as well, with the designer gear,
So only about 50p a pint then. How much are you drinking?
A lot, lad. He gave up at 17.
And also, as well, we've done this as well, because a lot of these
I got sacked. Well, I didn't get sacked, sorry. I had a job, get this, right? Now, in the day and age we're in now, I had a job when I left school as a YTS. My first YTS was learning to program Apple computers. Right? Yeah. That was my job.
You fucking
learning to program
fucked up
Apple
there,
computers,
mate.
right?
Yeah.
And they said to us,
Apple Genius before it was even a thing.
It was when it was the BBC Apple, you know, with the rainbow.
What you could have been, yeah.
Oh, right. So, and they said to us, we used to go to the pub with our 25 quid on a Friday dinner hour and have a couple of drinks and then go back. And they said to us, you're only 16, you're not allowed to go to the pub. So whoever goes to the pub, don't bother coming back. So we all went to the pub.
No one went back.
We all went to the pub. Yeah. And everyone went back except me and me mate. Right, so and my mate who's now dead. Right,
you mean you just stayed out?
Funeral not long ago. Yeah, we just stayed out on the ale. Right, gets there on the Monday morning, and you've got to go in the manager's office. So I walks in the manager's office and he says, "Where were you Friday afternoon?" I went in the pub, and he went, "So you're admitting it?"
Steve Jobs is this?
I went.
Listen here, Mr. Jobs, you fucking gimp.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I was in the pub. And he went, "So you're admitting it, yeah?" I went, "Well, yeah." I said, "You said if you go to the pub, don't bother coming back for the afternoon." So I didn't. I stayed in the pub. And he went, "Right, I'm going to have to suspend you then." And it was the immortal words that changed my life forever, without pay. Because it was at that point I just went, "Mate, shove it. I'll get another one of these anyway." Right. I ended up on a building site. From programming Apple computers to working on a building site.
That gig?
It was just like a new thing at the time.
Probably government fucking...
It probably was government funded, yeah. Yeah, so...
Never mind.
Yeah, £27.50. That's how much we got. And the thing is as well, because we're looking at a lot of these retro clothes shops, you know, like the Cicchini and the Fila and all that sort of stuff. They're actually cheaper now than there was then.
Yeah, they probably are.
Do you know what I mean? So you didn't go to give your mum a tenner, borrowed it back the next day. That was it, 17. You had to go thieving. You had to go robbing.
You had no choice. You had no choice.
You had to go tatting, ripping lead off roofs, and you had to, you know. But it wasn't just that. It was because it was the not just the crime itself, but it's the planning about it and the buzz and the.
Do you know what I mean? You just
you get.
If you're a scumbag, it just lives with you. You know, I'm never going to stop being. I'm never going to stop having. There's always going to be something going on with me. I'm going to have a little screw. We could make millions, and I'll be robbing Tesco just for something to do, just because I've got to. I still do now. Still just dip Tesco all the time. Just.
Well, that's all right.
No, that's just. We were sort of like Robin Hoods though, because we used to go into Wool over Christmas. Them Teenage Ninja Turtles were out when they were quite a lot of money. So we'd wait outside the shop, look from the window, we'd see women looking at them, like looking at the price and all this, and we'd go in behind them and say, "Listen, well, they're a bit expensive, aren't they?" Say they were 40, 50 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, love, I need to get a couple of these. Oh, about we'll get you for a tenner each. Are you sure we don't get caught? So we'd do that, and that's how we'd make our money. Yeah. You know what I mean, the weirdest thing we ever nicked was the carpet. Someone says, "Get us a carpet." We've stolen an Axminster carpet out of a warehouse. It took a bit of planning. Went in, overalls on. Our kid had a clipboard, pencil behind the ear. Yeah. So
fry up. Is there a kitchen?
Walked in, on the shoulder, bang, straight out.
Straight out, no messing about.
You got me this. Yeah, we did.
How much charge you for that?
Oh, I can't remember at the time.
Probably not enough.
Rob to order.
Yeah, just loads of that.
You're saying that, weren't you? In the booth.
Loads of people do still on the booth.
Oh, you couldn't move them after Tins of Impulse and TDK cassette tapes.
I know you're saying you're robbing. The last time I robbed was I was in Tesco, and they all got all them food banks things now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I was in the Asda. I was in the Asda, and they got all them food bank stuff. And in the Asda, the security tagged the baby's milk. I was like, "You horrible! I'm not paying for it. I'm not." I just went round picking stuff like I'm not paying for any of this now. I'm paying for one thing and walking out with a lot of it because in the Tesco they've got the food bank thing at the front. And it's got like there was a age and appeal baby's milk. So I just went and grabbed two and put it in. Didn't pay for them. So I went and put it in. It's like no one's taking that out. No one's at the front to take that out. So just put it in and went back to me shopping. But then when I got the Asda and it was security tagged, probably because cunts like me taking it out and put it in thingy. When it's security tagged, I was like, I'm not paying for the thing in this shop now. I went and got beers. I got about 8 different other stuff. Put the beers through and just walked out with everything else. Just like, nah.
Well, that's what we used to do when we used to go into when they started getting them little sticky electric tags.
Yeah.
We used to rip a couple of them off and we'll put it on the floor. So we've got our stuff here we're getting out. So there's 2 doorways. So we'll stick them on the floor. Someone, usually an old lady, would come in, stand on it, it sticks to the bottom of their shoe.
Yeah.
You get her stuff. As she walks out the door, beep, 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 and we out the other one.
Clever. Just think, because if you'd have applied that.
You'd have applied this to a
Look at that big hitter in the dinner circuit.
Yeah, you are, to be fair. Mr. Hull.
Yeah.
As soon as we finish this, Alan, what's this Christian after dinner stuff like that?
Yeah.
How many prayers have I got to learn before I can before I can start getting paid for that?
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Do you not have any of the, when you come off the ale and all that, none of the religion get a grip here or no? No.
I got a Buddhist meditation centre.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I just did that myself. I started going about 3 years ago.
Just.
Well, I'll tell you what the thinking behind it was. It's like if you talk to any of if you look at anyone, say Eckhart Tolle, I suppose Russell Brand, you can put into there. Any of these people, it's all on YouTube. Sort of Buddhist Mars, Zen Mars, anything. A lot of these people, the one thing they've got in common, they're all meditating. I thought it's quite interesting. These are all meditating. It's just this, that, and the other. So I thought, God, I won't mind learning about that, but going somewhere, not just YouTube. Yeah. So I thought, well, the Buddhists have been doing it for 2,000 odd years. So I started going there just before lockdown.
See the OGs.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's been a game changer, you know.
Has it?
Are you meditating now?
Yeah, I've been going to do. I was just saying to the lads, I've been going to Buddhist meditation on the world for about. I'm not a Buddhist. You don't have to be. I just thought I want to learn about meditation, what you do, and
transcendental meditation or something. Have you heard of that?
People keep. I've had a few people recommend meditation to me, but
it works.
I've got a massive.
It changed your life.
Yeah, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts, though, Sam.
No,
but you're not. You're getting it nuts to get away from your thoughts.
Right.
No, it's like I remember a psychotherapist saying to me years ago when I talked to her for about 10 minutes. She said, "You know what, Sam?" I said, "What?" She said, "Your head is like a rough neighbourhood. You should never go in there alone." You know what I mean? So it's about getting rid of the thoughts,
right?
Not getting into the thoughts.
That's my fear.
Shutting them
off. Don't want to be alone with my thoughts.
No, you're not. You know,
that screaming voice.
Screaming voice. Yeah.
Just hearing my dad's voice behind me, telling me I'm not good enough.
It's real. It's just
what have you fucking failed at now?
It's real practical as well, and it just improves everything.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a gig and it's your head's all over.
Well, now you said it, Sam, I might actually do it.
Yeah, give it an
I think it's probably because everyone who said it to me probably thought.
Well, I was like that with therapy. Therapy, son. I think I want that now because everyone raves about that, don't they? And I'm thinking it sounds all right. That might have.
I'll be honest. Therapy to me is like Game of Thrones because there's that many people talking about it now. I'm never going to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you've ruined it for me now. You've all ruined therapy for me now. I know what happens. It's fine. Fuck you.
Yeah, I know it works, and I'm not having it.
I mean, it is all down the mindfulness stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, meditation would be mindfulness now. I mean, in the church we call it prayer. It's the kind.
Is that because it's just everything feels hopeless now? There's no hope at all now. So we're just thinking, fuck it, might as well try and cure the mind and cope with how hopeless it is.
How bad is our generation that there's no hope anymore, and them cunts got swatted every other day. we're crying. There's no fucking hope anymore.
There's some logic to that. Like, you need to get it fucking beaten out of you before it has a chance to grow. Because if you let it grow, you'll be depressed. If you're just happy not to be getting fucking leathered by somebody, then you'll be sound.
Get down the corridor without getting stabbed.
If I could go a day without getting physically hurt.
You couldn't walk down the corridors in our school without physical abuse
by anyone,
by someone
at any time.
Right.
It was literally, it was like that, you know,
always on edge.
Peter Sellers
like
thing.
Gladiator.
Not now, Kato. You know? It was like that.
Oh yeah, all you do is get him.
Yeah,
get him.
Yeah.
You know, all right.
And I had a cousin that was a bit mental, but in another school, but he was like mentally used to like proper fight everybody. Right. It was a bit crazy. So
you might be useful to know though.
But it was okay.
Don't mess with
sometimes that was all right, but then other times they'd be. That's his cousin. Let's kill him.
I spent
by association.
It had a little bit of benefits and not, you know.
I spent the late 70s and early 80s getting chased.
Yeah.
Just fucking chase everywhere. I was fast. I wasn't a great fighter. I could fight a bit, I wasn't fast. But you know, sometimes you see other lads getting chased, you just joining on the end just to be on the fucking safe side. Get in. And don't forget, the nonces everywhere as well, weren't they? Yeah. Everywhere.
They were just funny old blokes, though, weren't they? Nonces then, back in the day.
Funny old blokes back in the day.
Part of the course.
Yeah, it was good that when you're just a funny old
That was your uncle, yeah? Oh my God. You must have had a few anti-genes as well. Did you have a few anti-genes?
Kind of everyone was your auntie, man.
Everyone won, mate.
Used to live in the street where everyone used to sit on the step and all that.
Right,
no garden.
Oh, yeah, there's on Lincoln Road where I drink, there's 2 streets, or 1 street definitely, still like that. And it's just like a throwdown, like a whatever, bygone era sort of thing. You just like look down the street and they're all fucking sunbathing on the step, talking to each other, and you're like, it doesn't exist anymore. This what the fuck?
But it's changed, and it's like women now with the interview of women on the telly and all that sort of stuff. What do you want in a man? And they might want material things and want someone who's reliable, who's sensitive, who's strong, who's got the muscles, who's going to be funny and all that sort of stuff. Back then, a woman just wanted a man who would come back with his wages.
Just come back with
his money.
Come home.
That was it.
What do you want? I want him to come home and not
come home with the money. That was the thing. Yeah. Then you can go out.
Do what you want there. She can maybe get a pair of 10
Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the keys. Spend it all.
This is peak toxic. Another one, isn't it? Harking back to the days where it was just give me the money and I'll do what I fucking like.
Yeah.
Tell you, it was, yeah.
Crackers.
It's funny though.
And you saw the people as well. You just have these. This was mad as well. She'd always open. I just found it's confusing as a kid. Sometimes you get a woman like an Auntie Jean, who was just like, oh, whatever. She'd knock up. She's up. Well, a knock, but just walk in.
Yeah, knock as they're walking in. As they're walking in, and
sit
knocking.
in the kitchen while my mum was on the twin tub or something. Yeah. Say fuck all. Don't talk. Just sat there. Smoking. And I'd be like, that's your Auntie Jean, that. She'd say fuck all, smoke about 30 fags. Get up, where are you going, Jean, love? Yeah, I'm going, Mara, love. And just fuck off. Well, do we know nothing?
That used to happen. That
was mental health, that.
It was. That was checking in.
That was definitely,
I used to happen at my nan's in C4 all the time. I'd get it there. And there'd be someone just sitting there smoking, saying fuck all, and just like,
it's mental health.
This just fucking like just
PTSD.
She had like 5 kids and all that, and they were all off their heads. They were all not right, you know. And one of them was like a proper smackhead, you know, Robbie House. She used to rob our house and everything.
You'd lose to leave things out that psycho. You can rob that today. We'll leave that.
You can have that,
And there wasn't that much to rob back then. Now there wasn't. To be right.
She had this like carriage clock on her mantelpiece. She had nothing, me auntie. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And one of his smackhead mates robbed the carriage clock. And she was gutted.
One of them shitty gold ones.
That was the only thing she had. And she was proper gutted. She literally went to visit him.
That is so sad.
She went to visit him.
The way he said gutted like you fucking
literally, she went to visit him in prison, right?
Yeah.
And she was smuggling some crack into him. Like,
have you got me carriage clock?
No, she had it in her mouth.
He's doing time now.
And she literally she coughed in front of the plate and it came out anyway. She got done for it. And everyone's saying to her, she's in her 60s at this point. Right? She's my auntie. And everyone's saying to her, you'll be all right. First offence, you'll be fine. So she says to her husband, I'm going to pay the council tax. Didn't tell him he was in court. Yeah. She got 2 years.
Fucking hell.
2 years. The daughter had to come home. The daughter had to come home and say, where's your ma? Oh, she's in jail. So she got jail. She does a year, you know. She does a year.
The smackhead son.
Yeah, she does a year. Right, and literally...
Is this the carriage clock woman?
Yeah, carriage clock woman. She came out. She was the one. I'll tell you. She went on holiday.
She's still looking after
him.
My
ma felt sorry for her once, so she went on holiday.
I feel sorry.
My half had died and that. So her husband had died, so they went on holiday. She said, come on holiday with me. She didn't have a bikini.
Take this cocaine with you.
She didn't have a bikini, so she sat there in her knickers and bra round the pool. Yeah. She had nothing. Do you know what I mean? But she ended up in jail. She came out of jail and she lived in. Should I say it really? I don't know. Bark Road in Litherland, right? You'll know it.
That's
right.
Bark Road's the road where we used to put loads of ice down to make the cars go to the wall.
Is it, right? So you'll know it, right? And she lived there, and she come out of jail, and she went and she walked down Bark Road towards her house.
She went into jail at 60 for trying to smuggle fucking a little bag of coke in for a
right, and literally she went, Oh, it's rough round here, isn't it? After being in jail.
Oh my God.
I know Bark Road well. Fucking
Shit
hell.
parcels and all that. They've been. Oh God. Well, in old prison, I got remanded there a few times.
Yeah.
Not for long. Not for long. Well, actually, when you was at Crown Court. When you was at Crown Court or something like that, you'd get tagged on to lads. So some lad here, there might be 6 here. You might not know 4 of them, but this lad he's done something here quite bad. This lad he's done something quite bad. This one, it goes down, because you've done something with him was connected to him, you were connected. So I was up for like nicking a bit of shoplifting. So I know what their charges are. We're in Crown Court. Oh, we're laughing. I'm laughing. They're not laughing. I'm laughing. We're done. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, the first one, bail. He's got, I'm definitely laughing. Bail. I'm definitely laughing now then. Do you know what I mean? They're all being bailed. 4 months detention centre.
Quotas to it, isn't this?
4 fucking months. So they put you in old prison on remand for a couple of days. So it was up until you get shipped off of me and all that sort of stuff. It was freezing cold. It was winter. They had bars, but they had no windows in. Windows, there's people, it was horrible. Just took you in this cell. And what a shit parcel was.
Yeah.
You just have windows and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There was no windows in it. So there's people above you, people at the side
bars,
of you. People would get a line, mark out or tie the bedding together or some sheets or something like that, put it down, make it into a bit of rope, sort of estimate sort of where your room was with no window. Get some paper, get some and all that sort of stuff, have a shit in it, tie it, throw it out, it hit the bars and there'd be fucking shit everywhere all over yourself. Explode, absolutely.
Why?
That's
why?
just funny.
23 hour bang up. You got time on your hands.
You've got to do something.
You can only knock so many out. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna, and that's quite inventive as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like.
The physics
Like Kia was saying, they're just bored people, aren't they? They're just bored.
Everyone's just fucking bored.
And that's the
in
main
prison.
thing in jail is they're just fucking
Everyone's
bored.
just fucking bored. Right. Can't think we're going to call
We're
it
gonna
now.
call it now.
Alan's
Gotta
got to
get
go
to the
see his
boozer,
long
yeah.
lost mates.
Gotta get to them whilst he's on the sea.
Sam, where can we find you again?
No one from church is watching this.
No. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Where can you find me again? Is it the plug thing?
Yeah.
Isn't it great when you've got an out to plug?
Yeah.
You following Instagram? Get that built up.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You don't know your handle, do you?
No.
Sam Harland 27, is it?
Sam J. Harland.
Yours, yeah.
So, can I have a look on
don't
my
know.
phone?
Go on, coach. When it's not a test.
Okay.
You don't have to plug it.
I don't know.
Well, whilst we're waiting for you,
You just say, oh yeah,
I've got-
Sam Harland 7.
Sam Harland 7 on Instagram.
I've
Sam
got
Harland.
no idea what mine is on
You got
Instagram.
no idea.
No.
well, Allen Finnegan, if you Google that, you know, Britain's Got Talent, innit? The algorithms.
Where's your church?
BT.
Tell them where your church is. Someone might want
Church
to
is
turn
in
up.
Nedden, Fleetwood's Lane, Nedden by the
Fleetwood's
British
Lane.
Legion.
Anyone
11 o'clock Sundays.
wants to find
It's a bit
God?
like this,
Go
really.
put into the collection.
Yeah, they need it. They're struggling. So come on.
Skint.
3 wise men will turn up, won't they?
18 months of no money, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure so.
I got furloughed. That was even funnier.
Fair enough, by God.
Only got 70%.
Right. Well, thank you very much. It's been fantastic.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
I feel. I know it's your job, like Alan, but I feel blessed after this podcast. We like to get a lot. Thanks for taking it so hard, so we can live a bit better. Right, sweet.
Am I knocking it off?
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah. Any other messages for anyone now?
Just as always, share if you see a clip.
Share everything. Sign up
Join
to
the Patreon. Patreon.com/1 podcast.
That's it. You
Get
know
extra
what to do.
content plus all the other stuff we're going to do.
Join the movement. Set up.
That's it.